Hey, everybody. Sorry I was a few minutes late. Kids at the last minute. I'm going to play my intro and then I will be back. I wish I could just do this without this, but no. Sped up. Yep.
Home in the valley, home in the city, home isn't pretty, ain't no home for me. Home in the darkness, home on the highway, home isn't my way, home I'll never be. Burn out the day, burn out the night. Can't see no reason to put up a fight. I'm living for giving the devil his due. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Time is the essence, time is the season, time ain't no reason, got no time to show. Time everlasting, time to play these sides. Time ain't on my side, time will never know. Burn out the day, burn out the night. Now I want to tell you what's wrong from what's right. I've seen suns that were freezing and lives that were blue. But I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. Burn out the day, burn out the night. Can't see no reason to put up a fight. I'm living for giving the devil his due. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you. I'm burning for you.
Duke, get away from my cords. Back away. Duke. Okay, so Duke's going to go to the moon today. In approximately 3.5 seconds. He don't get the hell away from my cords. Duke, get away from the cords. I'm glad you listen. You listen about as much as everybody else in this house. Let me put my banner on. Let me say hey to everybody. How was everybody's 4th? I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Ours was pretty cool. I mean, it was a laid back day. We went to the fireworks. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I just called my husband when I didn't want to, so now he's going to call back and think something's wrong. This stupid phone. Um, it was a nightmare trying to find a parking spot. One of the places wanted $40 to park for 20 to 25 minutes to watch the fireworks. So, yeah, some were as high as 50. I was like, oh, hell to the no. Thankfully, I found the one by the little water park, and yeah, it was cheap. It was only 10. But that's nuts. People can't be. I mean, you're gonna charge somebody $40, $50 to park at fireworks. People can't afford that shit. The fireworks supposed to be free. It was crazy, but the kids enjoyed it. They had a great time. We made it an adventure finding a parking spot, so they had a good time. And then they seen the big ships out on the water, and they were doing the pirate thing. It was funny, but it was good. Let me say hi now. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Paige. Hey, Carberry. Hey, Chap Test. Good to see you. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Arctic. I struggled with my kitties at my own house. Perfect 4th of July. Yeah, it was. We did. We stayed home until the fireworks, and yeah, it's just too freaking hot. Ma, I got to pull. What do I need to go in the sweltering heat for when I can enjoy myself at home? The kids like the fireworks. Hey, JJ. Always me. 1969. Hey, Angel. Okay. Hey, Stephanie. I missed something, didn't I? You got a new car? Whoa. Congratulations. Or, yeah, you had a good Ford. Hey, Midwest. Hey, the Runway Truth. Hello, Debbie. Hey, Jay. Sunshine. Hope. How are you, Hope? Yeah, Duke's at it already. He's sitting right here and he's being really bad. He's got them big eyes. You know, cats' eyes get really big when they want to be really bad. Yeah, he wants to be really bad. And I haven't even played Betty yet. Throw glitter on it. Oh, my daughter would love that. Hey, Story Night. Is there another? There's another Story Night because or were you that? But you don't light up pretty blue like that though. Hey, Misty Day. So I'm not sure. And hey, Brandon's Barn, a Mystic Butterfly. I know I got you, Britt. Duke. I swear, I really, really will send you to the moon. Kitty, I am not kidding. Hey, Catherine. Stop. Hey, Thor. Live, laugh, love. Love. That's cool. I like that. I will check, Brandon. I'll check it. But right now, real quick. Dookity doo. Please get away from the cords. I'm really I'm gonna put you in the house, Duke. You wouldn't be bad. Here, play with your toys. That's why I brought all your outside toys out here. Yeah, your patio toys. Go beat up that mouse over there. It's really needing some attention from you. Say, I don't know, the thing's not real, huh? It was just a nice, but today there's been a lot going on, of course. I finally gave my kitten run of the house and he's acting like a crackhead. Hey, malicious. Hey, Cow Cow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Duke is when them eyes are huge and he's ready to go, no one's safe. No one or nothing. Hi, Duke. Say, I rule this house, huh? That's why I'm called Sir Duke. He thinks he's a dog. He doesn't come to kitty kitty. He comes to pooch. Yeah, for some reason he thinks he's a dog. Probably because he's bigger than most people's dogs. At least most people around here. Will you please quit calling me? That like hurts and it makes me bleed. Yeah, no. So let's not do that. Okay, go lay down on your blankie. Go lay down or go play with your toys. Look, I talk to him like I do, like he's one of the kids. Stop clawing me. That hurts. Stop. You cannot sit on my lap right now. If he was just a little, yeah, I got it. I got it. Ow. Dude, that hurts. Stop. Ouch. Look at that. You got my leg bleeding. Move. Ugh. Yeah, I got the email. So today there was a lot. I'm sure you guys have been around the YouTube streets. Yeah, there's just been a lot of crap going on and some ridiculous crap as well. I don't know why things got to get all stirred up again, but apparently they are, and it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I don't know. I don't want to do it. I don't want no. Anyway, but today on Queen Bee's, that Julia, the alleged dog handler. Now I've always had red flags about her from the get go. I've never hid that fact. So today she made some statements. She went as far as to say that she felt there was going to be evidence planted, possibly at Cluemanitis' house, possibly at the Proudfoots, you know, insinuating that Teri Lynn could have been in on it, uh, uh, insinuating it's coming from so-called team, which I don't even know Terry considers herself part of his team. I don't know. And then, yeah, it was a whole shit show. Um, she couldn't keep her words straight. She just totally, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is, but that's a serious allegation, and I don't know. Would I be surprised? No. Honestly, no. No, not at all. I had questions about the alleged things found at the steakhouse dumpster convenience. I had suspicions about the convenience of the glasses that turned out not to be his. So I had suspicions, but it doesn't matter what I think. Oh, Chap Test, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you very much. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. Thank you for the Cash App. I greatly appreciate that. Wow. She always tears me up. It's still new to me, and it's touching. It just is that people think enough to do that. It's still, I hope it never stops making me feel like that. Because if it does, then that means I don't need to do this no more. But yeah. Hey, Tammy. Yeah, see, I don't get that. Loyal people don't stay friends long. Then you're not loyal. I mean, there'll be times where maybe you won't talk to your friend every day, or maybe weeks or even a couple months will go by, but that doesn't mean that you're still not good friends. It just means, sometimes life takes you down a different avenue for that little bit of time, but you always find your way back to each other. You know, uh, I don't know. See, I'm loyal and I'm loyal to a fault. Uh, I am. And once I'm, yeah. But I don't even have to like someone to know when something is wrong. You either like them or don't, but just because you don't like someone doesn't make it okay for things to be done or said about them or to them. And you're not going to like everything I say. You're not going to agree with it. I don't want you to. I don't want an echo chamber. Hey, unruly girl. Yeah, I often worried about Teri Lynn finding some pants while searching for Sebastian to be planted. Maybe Jules found out and she's being used to keep it silent. It could be. That's what I mean. I'm gonna play some of it. It's Queen Bee's live today. Um, and I'll also share her link and also put it in the description. Put her channel link in the video link. Hey, Indy. Um, that could be. Who's to say? I mean, I know Jules doesn't look. That's right. Her name's Jules, not Julia. Why did I put Julia? Let me fix my. I gotta fix my thumbnail. Anyway, or my description. Anyway, nobody will know who the hell I'm talking about. I put Julia instead of Jules. It just dawned on me. Hey, J Dobbs. Hey, Mystery. Um, she could be telling the truth about this. I don't know. All I know is she's legitimate as far as being a dog handler and there being some training. Has there been red flags with some of the things that she's said and done? Absolutely. Oh, hands down. But even Chris said he verified her. So, I don't know. If she's got these receipts, she needs to bring them forward because you already done put it out here. So you don't backtrack now, or don't just forget about it. You put the stuff out here, so now back it up, stand on it, and back it up. Would I doubt it? Like I said, no. Sure. I I think honestly, with the way things have been in this case, and how much is I doubt nothing anymore. But one thing I can still say and stand by. There you go, chap. One thing I can still say and stand by is that I don't believe, because there's no evidence, I don't believe that there's anything showing that any of the parents did anything bad. It's okay, Hope. Real life comes first. Enjoy your dinner. Um, yeah. I don't know. Hey, chap.
Hey, lady. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Here, let me turn the air conditioner off. She's not as quiet as my cat.
You're
There we go.
breaking.
Am I breaking up?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me drop and I'll try it one more time. And if not, we'll skip it tonight.
Oh no, it'll work. Go ahead. Just come back in.
Okay.
I'm trying to be neutral on all these things that are being said. I don't know any of these people. I'm commenting with an open, unbiased opinion. What? It's hard. It really is. Maybe nothing bad, but I do believe that Seth knows where Sebastian is. His lies and behavior are the evidence, in my opinion. I don't believe Chris or Katie had anything to do with it. I'm still on the waiting list for Seth. I always said that I thought that he did go out and meet someone, that there was just because of how it all went down. And he is 15. He is 15, regardless. He is a 15-year-old. Since law enforcement was there so fast and acted so fast, he wasn't walking the neighborhood or the town for that matter. Um, that's just my opinion now. I always thought that he went out to meet someone. And I just think that he had more access to the internet than what we're being told. And I'm not talking about Chris and Katie.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Is the volume or the quality any better?
Yeah, it's a little bit better. It's okay. Go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? I don't want
If
to
it
screw
gets
up
too
your.
bad, chat will. Hey, Wendy, chat will tell me if it gets too bad.
All right, everyone, just tell me when it's time to get the F out.
I want to see if I mute if it makes it better.
No, it's probably because we have a nasty storm coming in
Mm,
and having thunder for, I'd say the last 45 minutes and
mm,
lightning. So it might just be a me thing and just can't do it.
yeah, the bad weather. It gets like that here. I won't, if it's a lot of thunder and lightning and the winds are too bad, I won't go live because I know it's going to mess up because it's
Oh,
bad.
you too?
Yeah,
Oh.
Florida sucks with the weather. But we need that rain so you can pass it on right down here.
I'd love to give it to you. My work truck is so muddy that we're supposed to wash them once a week because we're semi-important or something, and so we have to have the airs of being um, clean and professional. And it's so funny. I gave up washing my truck the last 2 weeks. It's rained so much.
You're right, I'm really girl. It is getting out. It's been out of hand. By the way, it hasn't rained probably real good here in over a week. Last time it rained, the kids one large sand beach bucket filled up with water, so some damn frog laid its eggs in there. Well, now the bucket is full of freaking tadpoles, and I can't just dump it out; they'll all die. And I'm not picking up these tadpoles and having 100 freaking funerals. I can't take them to the ditch because there's no rain, there's no water. They'll die. The kids won't have it. I've got to get some rain so I can get rid of these damn tadpoles.
How far are you from the Swanee River?
Far.
Oh,
I thought about
okay.
taking them down to the ocean, but
Yeah,
they're not. They'll die. And
yeah, the salt water will kill them.
yeah, but I could
Yeah,
take them to the river.
yeah. Or you could even take them out to a deep mud puddle. I know you said it hasn't rained, but I know there's some
We don't
farms.
have any. The honey is. I mean, it's beyond bone
Don't
dry. It
don't you
is
have
so dry, your grass is leaving.
Oh no. Do you have irrigation ditches that have water in them anywhere?
Nope.
Like in no,
Bone
it's
dry.
that bad.
It's dry. I mean, I could take
Oh,
it down to the highway along there's that little tiny bit of water in there. I might because
mm,
there's some lily pads in there. And that way, if it dries up more, it's not my fault.
that's right.
But I am not having all these damn funerals. I mean, I'll have to cut 100 damn tissues. I'm not doing it.
I should start making you tiny boxes.
We got to have funerals for everything, you know.
You could use an egg carton, multiple funerals,
Yeah.
12 at a time.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Skull Girl. Hey, Liza. Hey, Halo. One, Alina. Oh, that's cool. People have such good names. I'm too coward. I'm too coward. So today, what do you want to start with first? You want to get pissed off at Betty and then have some laughs because there's not much of hers I'm showing. The other one's going to take about an hour and a half because I'm not going to show the whole live because it's like a 7.5 hour live.
I
I'm
was
only
gonna.
showing, yeah, I'm only showing that one specific part about the dog handler.
Yes,
It was a good live though. I was in and out. It was a good live. It really
yeah.
was.
I
Um,
am. I hung in there even after everybody left. Um, Queen was still hanging on, and but she wasn't active for like another hour after the live shut down. And so it was just some of the creators, like 6 of them up there, just chit chatting about, like, comparing notes about the dog handler.
yeah, it was good. I was listening to some of it. They were
Oh,
comparing their emails and stuff because
yes,
they're all getting emails. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hi, Josh. I saw your comment. Hello.
Hey, Mississippi. How are you, Mrs. Mississippi? Oh, Josh, it's crazy like always on these streets. Hey, Marcy. These streets are ridiculous. But I'm not doing all the invite. I am no. Look, I know I haven't talked about anything that's been going on concerning other creators and what they choose to say on their channel or when they're upset with somebody who did something really horrible to them. That's not my place to judge. I'm not them. I'm not there. That JB dude will never ever grease my channel. That dude, nope, nope, want no parts of him.
Yeah, wow, he seems like he's needing a couple of classes and a couple of books. Maybe Betty could send him one.
Somebody got to give him to her. Oh, she trying. That woman would. Well, she didn't have a soul, but that woman would sell her soul to the devil if
Did you
she.
see the way she was holding that little puppy today? Oh,
No.
oh, it was like it's like almost like how you would hold a baby that you don't want to hold. It was just
Mm.
heel safe, but anyway.
Yeah. I didn't watch a lot of her today, or I've actually been a couple videos behind because I'll get burned out with Debbie or Debbie. I'll get burned out with Betty and have to take a break. I seen a
Oh,
little
I
bit of
get
her on nonsenses, but I the other live, this one she just did, um, and I heard her in her other live saying she can't prove it was, that it wasn't Chris, but
it. Right.
Betty has said that so many times, and
She is a whack.
she goes right back to blaming
I've
Chris.
been doing
Now
Oh,
she's yeah, she's insane. I am gonna put a little bit of music on because I just don't trust Betty. Hey,
oh,
mystery, I
how
think I said
can
hi,
you?
but I'm not sure. So, hey, hey,
Yeah,
casual art. I know Mystic Butterfly got you. Okay. I don't like, hey, Sheila, I feel bad if I miss someone. And then I'm getting yelled at by another creator telling me I shouldn't be reading my chat, trying to tell me that that's why me because she was saying that's why she don't get a lot of super chats because she reads all her chat. Well,
oh,
that's not
that's.
always true because I've been in that chat, so that's not always true.
Did you
But
see Miss? Did you see Mystery and Casual Art?
I said hi to them.
Oh, nice, because I just saw them finally. Sorry, I'm behind.
But and that's not true. She don't do it. It's because of her following, but she does get plenty of money. She has nothing to complain about. Hey, Twist, but don't tell other. So I said what? So you're telling me that I shouldn't read my chat? No, because if you do, they don't super chat you. They'll pay you to read their comments. I said, no, not in my house. No one's
Yeah,
going to pay me to read their comment because that don't happen. I'm not for sale.
well, that's just it. I mean, everybody needs to do what they're happy and comfortable with,
Yeah.
and it's if you're not here for the wrong reasons, the money will come as it comes, and you're just happy with what you get.
Mm, I am ecstatic.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's a
And
$1.99, you know what I mean? It just, I hope that
yes,
feeling never goes away where I'm just that grateful. I don't ever want that
absolutely.
feeling to go away. But I'm sorry, I'm not for sale, and I'm going to read your comment regardless.
Well, and
It,
that's
that
part of
that
your
doesn't
charm,
make any
girlfriend.
difference to me
That is
because
part of your charm.
yeah, just being here, supporting is awesome. Anything else is just an extra plus in my book. I don't know. I don't look at it like they do. I guess, but okay. Are we gonna put Betty into space today with the music? Yeah, let's do that. Did you jump down? Oh, you back?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's all right. It happens to me all the time. I
I don't know
figured.
what I did. I pushed a button or something.
I figured we put Betty in outer space today because she lives there. And we're only gonna listen to a little bit of this because you can't no more with Betty. Hey Christina, hey Rachel, hey Steven's Adventure. There's only so many times you can tell her. There's only so many times you can hear her regurgitate that same thing 7 to 8 times a day. Hey, Cal, welcome to Poolside. You are now a Poolside Misfit. Don't worry, we got goodies for that. Oh, Rooster's in the house. No, that's a bullhorn. Nope, that's a spaceship. Okay. See, and now I got my glasses on. I couldn't tell if it was a rooster, a bullhorn, or a spaceship. Don't wear your glasses. Uh-oh, chap got storm weather. She's gone again. Let me know if it straightens up and you want to come back up, chap. But we'll get it. I know she's having bad weather. Hey, it's me, Tiffany. Betty is. She is. Earlier today on her live, she said that there's no evidence. There's no way she can place Chris to have anything to do with it. Yeah, that didn't last long. She's been bouncing that around for like a week or two. Well, now she's totally convinced. We already know she claims, yeah, there we go. Now I can see it. I got my glasses on. Spaceships. I love them. I'm going to send Duke it to one of them, to the moon, if you don't leave my goddamn gourds alone tonight. Oh, that cat just looked at me. I'm going to play Betty, and if she cackles, he doesn't like that loud cackle. Hey, Spooky Paws. Cool name. Anyway, Betty, we already know she, according to her, though nobody has it, nobody knows about this. Law enforcement don't know. Just Betty's figured it out. She said there was no way Chris was at work at 5:15. No one ever said that he was on the crane at 5:15, because that would have been impossible. But I'm not even sure about the time. These people, like with the 17-hour stuff, it's okay. I get it. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tap, for coming up. Thank you for trying. I know you're getting bad weather. Aw. And thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Now I lost my train of thought. So she's confirmed Chris wasn't at work in her mind. Okay. But she didn't have no evidence of that. She can't show you any proof. It's just she thinks 4.5 months later that things would still be the same at the construction site and of that size. And no, they wouldn't be. You're in a different season also. But there's different phases of construction sites. Oh, Chap Test, my goodness. Wow, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Wow. Hey guys, welcome to Poolside. It's me, Tiffany, Arctic, Sunshine, Mississippi, Straight Talker, Scout, Orion. I don't know if you're here, but got KDB, Twinkles. Thank you. Guys, please thank Chap Test for the gifted membership. Is she so sweet? Thank you, Chap Test. Wow. Oh my gosh, my daughter is so excited. She's gonna be 9. Oh my gosh. August 3rd. That's around the corner. Don't you know school starts the same week? Why did they do that? They shouldn't do that to parents. You can't have school starting with a birthday. That's too much of a strain. That's too much. But she's getting really excited about her 9th birthday. Because according to her, 4th grade, 9 years old, she's grown. She told me she should have more responsibility once her birthday gets here. I was howling last night when she was telling me this stuff. But she wants to go to Legoland because they're having their commercial of discounted or free tickets. If you buy an adult, you get a free child pass, but school clothes and stuff, What are you doing? Oh, you gonna let him in for me? Go ahead, Sir Duke. Dukey, go in the house. Oh my God, he's making the girl beg him to come in, and he's the one scratching to get in. Don't let Bubba out because the dogs are out next door. All right. Dukey, go in the house. Go, kitty. Pooch, go in the house. Oh, I give up. Anyway, I'm getting into Betty because I'm already late. It's already 8:30 and I haven't even gotten into this, and there's a lot to go over, but I'm just going to go over the part about the dog handler saying about the planting evidence because there's a lot in that live to break down and go over. And I don't want to keep you people here for hours and hours on a Friday night. And when my hubby gets home from work, I got some thick slices of ham. I'm making some breakfast for late night dinner snack because he won't be home till about 10 o'clock or later. So, yeah, I'm going to make him some ham and eggs. If he'll let me, if he wants to eat, he's so pissed. He already was 5 short. The other supervisor for daylight didn't go in. The other supervisor for nighttime didn't go in. And then he gets there and a couple hours later gets a couple call offs on top of all that. So he's not a happy camper. He's working so short-handed tonight, it's not funny. I feel bad for him.
A lot of research. I promised you guys that we would get back to the maps. We absolutely would. Hold on just a second.
Josh, thank you so much. Wow. Hey, Twist.
Second.
Welcome to Poolside, Angel.
I'm hoping it opens it back up, but it doesn't. Okay.
OPP
so
Jen.
One of the things
Rachel,
that we've been talking about is Christopher Proudfoot's steps, his patterns, where could he have gone for lag on this?
Welcome to Pool. Sorry, I didn't know that was playing over me. Welcome to Poolside. You are now a Poolside Misfit. Bite my tongue. I like that name. Yeah, just for a couple minutes of Betty, and then we're getting into the dog handler and Teri Lynn. That Teri Lynn. Hey, Leslie. That Teri Lynn is a whole nother kind of creature. She's a whole nother kind of creature. Brandon, I will definitely read your Brandon Barn. I will definitely read your email. I got it brought up. Is it something you want me to share? If not, I won't. Well, you guys can tell me that in your emails. Hey, Scout. Okay, Betty. Show us how you proved everything. But we're not doing the maps because your maps are wrong. I mean, Betty, you were trying to take like an hour and a half off of time. That there's just no way. I mean, yeah, whatever, Betty. You don't know. You don't understand how to do maps. You can't do that. It was like you was taking a whole section out and acting like he was like some kind of superhero and could just jump over that section and, push aside that hour or so. It was insane.
So just bear with me. I think it has to do with the storm, but I'm seeing myself. It's like slow.
I don't think you got much rain, Betty, but okay, you're only. I'll check because you're not that. You're a couple hours from me, but anyway.
Mow on my.
If you got rain, can you send some up this way? To your fellow Floridian, because I desperately need it. But I'm gonna cry my eyes out if I got to turn on that freaking sprinkler system again this weekend. The city's gonna love. The city loves this because we all gotta.
That way on your end.
Gotta use our sprinklers, otherwise our yard just runs away. It just leaves. The plants, the grass, everything. It just the little lizards, everything just leaves. So yeah, they love it because they get. Oh no, I knew my neighbors were gonna make up for last night. Here we go. Hey, Casual Art, welcome to Poolside. You are a Poolside Misfit. You could be a Misfit diver. You could be a SpongeBob. Heck, you can be a Patrick. Squidward. And we got Sandies. I got 3 of them in my yard. We just don't have helmets for them to get them under the water yet. Hey, Brett. I think I got you, though, Brett. Hey, Hensley. I need rain bad. I'm not kidding you. We have a rain bird, but he turns it off because if not, it'll constantly have the sprinklers running. And my water bill would be hundreds of dollars a month. It is $60.03 to run the sprinklers twice a week, 10 minutes, twice a day, twice a week, 10 minutes. That's it each time it runs. He only runs it through a 10-minute cycle. I'm like, oh, hell no. I mean, before the kids came, I didn't care. It was just us, and it didn't really make a difference because I could do it. I didn't have kids to worry about. But now, hey, shop, how are you doing? I just would rather spend that money on school stuff instead of giving it to the city to water my grass. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those lucky neighbors that had a little well, so they don't have to worry about city water for. They only use it for watering their lawns. They're still on city water for their house, but they use it for watering their landscaping. I wish they would have did that here, because it's freaking nuts. I mean, I could run my water bill up real high just keeping things green, and nope. Maybe if I win the lottery, but I got to buy a ticket first. And I can't. Because if I lose the quick pick, the $2, I'm going to be really pissed off. So it's just best if I don't even buy one. I'm not a gambler, but I suck at it anyway. Let's get into Betty. She won't give me lottery numbers. None of these damn psychics that I review will give me any lottery numbers. What do they good for? I give them good reviews. We laugh, and we laugh some more, and then we tell them where they're wrong, and they don't give me nothing for it. No lottery numbers, no tips, no nothing. I'm done.
But want to say hi to Southern Grammy, Belinda,
okay, bye, Betty.
In the see you. We have Lindro, I see you as well.
There was one spot right
Miss,
up here.
It's nice to see you, and all the others known to the Proudfoots.
Okay.
This
now
vehicle. There's our
Betty's thing for the last week. Well, maybe 10 days. Her thing is everything that Bobby, the so-called neighbor, has said is true and factual. 100% hands down. She runs with it all. She's going to keep telling you that everything Bobby says is true. And none of it is. Okay? Bobby is not. What she's telling you is what's already been out here. And she's twisted even some of that around. The woman is very problematic. And sorry, but not believable either. All right, I'm going to take your fireworks off you and shove them where the sun don't shine. My dog is going to be hysterical. Knock the shit off, really. You're a day late. I knew that it's going to be hell all weekend. A lot of people are celebrating today because, they didn't yesterday because today's Friday, because they figured they'd just have a weekend party. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy weekend. And I got so much to do, so much cleaning. But I want to take the kids somewhere and get them out of the house. I don't know.
Our transport. So this could have been somebody that's known to the Proudfoots.
Okay.
Because of Nina's statements to us.
Okay. She's also been running with the Nina story. Hey, Darcy, saying that everything is saying that it's factual. Yeah, my cat doesn't like the thunder, the loud noise. He'll hide. He'll just stay and hide in the house. Bubba freaks out. And I gave him some Benadryl because I knew I've lived here for 17 years. I know my neighbors. I knew that it was going to be a night of fireworks and partying and hanging out. I mean, you can hear them from streets over. It'll be like that all weekend. I swear these people spend buku bucks on these fireworks. It is unbelievable. I know the one neighbor. I know easy $500-$600. Easy. I mean, he gets it all. Big display. It's nuts. Hey, Chris Crest, good to see you. How are you? I'm not wasting that kind of money on fireworks. Sorry. There's so much else. See, I always think there's something better you could do with your money. Besides that, it's so dry. You need to worry about a fire. Yeah, they do. I used earplugs last night because we were right on the beach. They set them off a barge at the beach, so it was really cool. They stayed out on the water, And then all the hotels and stuff around were setting off. It was great. There was a lot of fireworks. And the kids enjoyed it. They had a blast, so. Like I said, instead of people getting stressed out because we were in the car looking, driving around looking for a parking space, I tend to make those things, turn those kinds of situations into like a game so that Nobody gets stressed out or, you know, my hubby gets pissed off at people when they don't know how to drive. And yeah, so we made it. We seen the big ships out on the water. They were the pirate ships. It was just, you had to be there, but it was fun.
We know that it is possible that the Bower Sox are involved. We've heard a lot of different things about the Bower.
No, we don't. We don't know that. Not at all. How do you?
So one of the first things we went to, because there was a like, it wasn't like normal SUV backs. It did make me cry, Donna. I was here with a face.
You know what? You're right. It wasn't a normal SUV back because it was a freaking pickup truck, you idiot. It wasn't Kathy Bowersock's vehicle. She was not there. And how could she have been there if she was at the closed convenience store / gas station? Huh? Okay, that's 5 times she's been to the door already. Anyway. Go ahead, Betty. Tell us how.
Absolutely a face full of tears. And so there was an outline of the back of the SUV.
No, there's not. Stop lying, Betty. Even one of your buddies called you out on that and said how wrong you are. Old Spanky, remember he called you Bullhorn Strangler. He said it a couple times. Bullhorn Strangler. I'll never forget that. In fact, it's clicked on my channel. But even he said you were wrong. And he was upset because you twisted his live and his words. He told you can't do that. You shouldn't do that to people.
We decided to transpose that SUV to see if it was possible.
It wasn't,
that it
Betty.
Made sense.
It's not, Betty. That video, number one, there's no date or timestamp because it wasn't working right. It was stuck or something. You don't know when or where it was when it was taken. You also can't see jack shit. And let me tell you something. You only have a tiny clip of a poorly re-recorded clip that somebody re-recorded by holding their cell phone over the actual video, the other phone, and recording it. So yeah, you can't match it up, Betty. You're wrong.
With what we knew, and it kind of did.
Hey, Carrie.
So what we did here, let me adjust from here.
Hey, Doxy.
This is so frustrating.
Hey, Skull Girl.
So frustrating. So let me go ahead and just...
here she goes. Betty, I don't want to go through this again. I did this lot. You've done this at least 15 times. How can these people watch you keep regurgitating the same crap? Everybody's debunked this with you, Betty. Everybody. And you still don't get it. You're never going to get it. So you're never ever going to get it. We're not going to keep talking about it. We're going to move on.
Computers just freezing up on me all over the place. So give me just a second. I don't know if it has to do with the weather or not. But this is basically what we saw. We see lights and we see a back end of a vehicle. But what it was is there is a dimple right here. Like a...
No. Oh, my Lord. Hey, Dorsey. Welcome to Poolside. You are a Poolside misfit. We have gummies. They're good gummies. I make some damn good gummies. They're strong. We got some brownies. Oh, I make some good brownies too. And then we got some regular stuff, just some regular goodies, And we have a fully stocked bar. Always. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Twist.
Little dimple that's...
It is not a little freaking... Do you understand how light works at night, Betty? And light reflections and pixels and all that stuff. I go back to school, Betty, because I can't school you no more.
We couldn't figure out what it was. And it's the back end of this vehicle, and I'm going to show you something a little bit closer, but we
No.
transpose this, and granted, we can't put the angle right on it,
It
but
is not.
if you look at it, it hits right where we need things to hit.
No, you don't. Do I need to re-show you the video proof that you're wrong? Not only from, I can't believe I'm saying this, from Spanky, because I have to give it to him for calling you Bullhorn Strangler. That was like the best ever. But yeah, he was telling you you're wrong. But Gray Hughes and other people, yeah.
And it's got the dimple to for the
Okay,
back
fast
leads
forwarding,
to.
Betty. I can't do this again. I can't do it again with the stupid video because she's so wrong and she'll never own it. She'll never own it. Betty, you having tech issues. Where you at?
I'm obsessed with the perfume Baccarat Rouge.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward or we're never gonna get anywhere. But I'm gonna speed her up too. Because she's not gonna.
That whatever was going on with the car. But that's one of the reasons why I truly believe that this car is something worth noting, because we do know about the Bauer socks. We absolutely believe that there's definitely something going on when it comes to them. They're not opposed to this.
Okay, how do we know there's something going on when it comes to the Bauer socks? Please let me know. Yeah, that driveway had a lot of vehicles in it, and in the one picture, it does appear to be a pickup. But it's really hard to tell. That is such grainy footage, and it's so dark. Plus, there is no time nor date stamp. It's a clip of a video that was recorded on a cell phone from another cell phone on top of another cell phone. It's insane. There's no way. And I had to give Spanky credit. That's not easy to do. He did call her Bullhorn Strangler. And he did say she was wrong. And she shouldn't do that and put that out there to people. Pot meat kettle. Because Spanky does the same shit. He was just mad she was twisting up his content.
Took her kid. Now, I don't think that they're in the business
Okay, we got to listen to this.
Did it to Nina. They took her kid.
Listen to this.
We do know about the Bauer.
Now, listen to what she says now she's really starting to run with the Nina story. She's mentioned it here and there briefly, but lately she's really been hitting home points about it.
Socks. We absolutely believe that there's definitely something going on when it comes to them. They're not opposed to this. They did it to Nina. They took her kid. Now, I don't think that
Betty. Wow, they took her kid. Number one, that's Chris's daughter as well. And number two, from what I understand, and this is none of my business or yours, because this has nothing to do with Sebastian being missing, but she's the one that took the kid out of state and crossed state lines. So you might want to do a little bit of research and maybe not believe everything that someone says. I mean, Betty, Nina was as easy to see through as you are. You're very thin pieces of glass.
they're in the business of, they might be in the business of taking children, but they're not in the business Faith came back fine, is what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you what, you're really pushing it with all your false allegations about these people, Betty. You want them to do something. Only you want them to react to you on social media. You really don't want them to go legal. You don't think they will? Because of Seth. Lord, I hope you're wrong. And I hope they do. You keep pushing, Betty. These people have done nothing to you. You know nothing about them, and you have no evidence they've ever done anything. You don't know Nina from Adam or Eve. You have no idea if anything she said was true. But you're running with it. You don't know Bobby. And you were too stupid and too blinded to see that she's full of shit. You are stuck in that tunnel. That's why I call you tunnel rat. You cannot get your way out of it. You refuse to.
So it is a problem for me when we hear about the 17 hours. We were looking for the getaway car that could move him out of the way. Oh, good. I hope that fudge turned out good. And now we are looking for an opportunity to finalize whatever it was they needed to do. And so the only time that anybody had, nobody else had time. The Bowersox went off to Alaska and other exotic places and left for, how long did they leave? They were gone for weeks.
Betty, that Alaska was not a vacation. It was work. And this supposed cruise, things are paid for in advance. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean they're guilty of anything. That means that this stuff was already pre-planned. They had, I mean, so that should show you that they couldn't have been a part of it if they weren't even here, right? Hey, Ted.
And then we have Chris disappearing for 17 hours to go get a camper that was 3.5 hours away. Total round trip of...
Hey, Andy C. Y'all remember Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right? YouTube has Teri Lynn and the Seven Goofs, Bloaty, Teeny Tiny, Rappy, Smoky, Grifty, Stalky, and Sussy. That's good, Andy. Hey, ain't it? That's good. Does she truly not understand the damage she does to families, or does she not care? She truly thinks she's doing right by them. I think this woman is dangerous with her words and showing up to places. 100% agree. Hey, Skip. Hey, Skip to my Lou. Hey, Odin girl. Hey, I'm not butchering everybody's names. Betty lives in such a distorted reality. It's borderline insanity, if you ask me. Betty's never had this much attention before. She's never gotten these kind of numbers before, ever. She's never had a parent stand beside her and encourage this behavior, and for her to put the wildest stuff out here, because then he could just blame her. She's lost any common sense. I don't know if she had much, but she's lost it. There's no boundaries for her now. She's got what she's always wanted. She's got over her 25K. She's getting mad numbers right now. Only when she does this shit. She don't get the mad numbers if she don't do this shit. As soon as she stops doing this shit with this case, it'll die down and they'll leave. She's got a parent in her pocket who's actually supporting her crazy antics. Hey, OPP. Hey, Helen. It's everything she's ever wanted. And it's drove her to levels that I didn't even think she could go. And she won't stop. She's past that point. Betty couldn't stop herself if she had to.
7 hours, leaving him 10 hours. I'm going to give him graciously, which we probably
okay,
should look
again, I didn't get a chance because I was busy with the family. I really wish I should have reached out to Duchess. I was busy with the family, and I know she's been going through a lot and busy with her family about this 17-hour thing, because I want to know exactly where this 17-hour came from. Was it from these idiots, or was it something that was actually stated by Chris and Katie? Because I don't remember with the 17-hour, because there's been a lot said, in the last 5 months. So, and I've only ever heard their side say it. It's weird to say their side, but you know what I mean. The crime tourist, aka tragedy pimps. Yeah, she's a snake. Betty's a true snake. Mm. She's the worst kind of a snake. Yeah, see, that's what I did look a little bit the other night, and I couldn't find anything where it was Chris and Katie that said that. But all I've heard from is Betty, and I think a couple of them have repeated it. Oh, and Brittany J, girl, I got the screenshots from you in the chat today. Oh my lord. We'll get back to that.
At all 7 hours, or excuse me, all 10 hours, but I'm going to graciously go 4 hours one way, 4 hours another.
Mean?
We'll get expanded.
What are you doing, Betty? Who told you there were 17 hours? JLR? Did you get it off JLR or his Facebook group? Because that's where you get all your info. And that's where, to this day, you still get all your info. You're obsessed. You can't let little Papa go.
We can expand that. But I think for now...
Let's not forget extortion of missing children. Yeah. It's bad. Yeah, well, they're not giving him any either, and I don't blame them. Hey, Brianna, good to see you. I'm exhausted and faded. Ignore me. Oh.
We need to look at what it is. And there was something very interesting to me.
What?
And it's the Memphis trip.
Okay, what about it?
Is it possible he made 2 trips to Memphis that day?
Huh? You really think that man made 2 trips to Memphis that day and law enforcement would have no idea what he was doing? Is she serious? Is she really serious right now?
Because honestly, it seems like he could have went to Memphis, went to Gallatin, went back to Memphis, got his camper, and went back home.
Okay. Let me get this right. He went to Memphis, then he came the whole way back to Gallatin, and then he went back to Memphis and then went home. See, this is how Gallatin isn't. What? Why? What would have been the purpose of that? You are truly delusional, Betty. You have lost your mind. I don't know if you ever had one, but you don't now. That makes no sense. Why would he do that? Besides that, law enforcement would have that information because he had his phone with him. He was driving the vehicle. Those kind of things, Betty. He would have been seen. He was not seen at his parents. And if he was, the next day, during the 17 hours, which he'd already returned home, it's his mother. What would be unusual about him being in her home? I'm just saying, if he was. I'm not saying he did anything or that he was there. I'm just saying, what would be the big deal anyway? Yeah, she thinks she knows more than law enforcement. She thinks that she's the best of the best of the best, and we're not sure of what exactly.
Back with marks on his arms. We don't know when those marks were given.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And it was like a week, 5 to 7 days, something like that after the fact. So, yeah, Betty, we do. And we know it was well after the fact. So guess what? Can't be connected, can they? Even though you tried to show these photos that Justin tried to enhance and say they were what they weren't. They were from clipping the dogs' nails and playing with the little dogs. The little dogs. Not a big deal. Not surprising. You don't want to face it. The time frame for them, I believe, was 5 to 7 days, like a week later when it happened. So, yeah, it could have nothing to do with that, Beth. But see, you're not going to acknowledge that. Look at the snarky look on your face and you pull your coffee cup up like, yeah, I just gave you guys a good tip. You fell flat. Buzzer dome rang. Bzz.
It was after Sebastian disappeared. So it would be my assumption that he didn't have those scratches on his arm whenever he went home, which implies that he did something that got him scratches when he returned from the camper. And he blamed it on the Morkies.
Betty, because I believe that's what happened. And it was days later, Betty. Days later. You understand that? Days later. Had nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. He'd already retrieved the camper. He'd already been back home for days before that happened. So tell me again, how is this connected? You've been trying to do this. Remember back when you were showing Justin's doctored photos of the scratches? Yeah, he got pissed off at you about that too. Because, he said it was 3 or 4 times that within 30 minutes of him ending his live, you would go live with his stuff and twist it up. And he was not a happy camper with you, Betty.
I don't know. But I am doing research. And I thought the information is quite interesting. So I just said, how far is it? 4 hours from Hendersonville, right? Google has everything. So why not just start?
Oh my God. She's gone. She is flown the coop. Hey guys, do me a favor. Hit that like for me if you didn't, so we can get this video in the algorithm. Also, if you're not subbed up, please consider subbing up. I was just a couple away from finally reaching 2,500. I worked my butt off to get there, and I've had some really good support in my chats, which I thank you all for. But yeah, hit that like. Hey, we have poolside members. You can be a poolside misfit. And we cheap over here. I might even change it to 99 cents. I don't know. $1.99 seems like a lot anymore. And it does whenever I didn't know you could only do 99 cents because I didn't pay attention like I should have.
My research with what's 4 hours from Hendersonville. And so we got,
Betty, you charge $25. Who would pay you $25 a month to hear the same regurgitated shit 8 times a day? I don't understand it.
Southeast, south, we got everything going on. So it looks like between 200, say 190 to 200 miles, a little over 200 miles, is really about what.
I am absolutely mind blown by the results. If you're like me, and you're in your 60s.
I agree with that, with the bullying stuff. If anything, if she wasn't the bully, then yeah, Betty didn't stand up to the bullies either. Something tells me, Betty herself has said how problematic she was as a child and as a teenager, So yeah.
Assume would be about, a 4-hour trip.
She's doing all these places that were within 4 hours. Poor Chris, he's been all over everywhere, but he never was actually there. AG Cactus. I can see you. But we're going to fast forward a little bit.
We start these out there because I want you to start thinking in your brain. Maybe something might come to you that you've heard somewhere, right? So 4 hours, Franklin, Indiana.
Now, these are all possibilities she's telling her audience that Chris could have went to in those 4 hours. These are all the possibilities. And she wants everybody to run with this stuff and check it out. She's also going to ask people to, again, go to the... Aw, Miss Mississippi, you really like them emojis. I like when you post them. They're cool. Anyway, yeah, no, that's... I can't even believe she wastes people's time with this shit.
Alabama, Powder Springs, Georgia, Greenville, Tennessee, Missouri.
She's going to ask people again to start stalking Chris again. If they live by the campground where he stayed, to go into the stores and stuff and show pictures of Chris and ask questions about Chris. She does that again in a couple minutes. She's asking people to find anything out they can It's insane. His life is none of their damn business. None of it.
Asheville, Indiana, Murphy, North Carolina, Hiram, Georgia, Robinsonville, Mississippi, and Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. Fort Mitchell. Interesting. Interesting.
No, this is stupid, Betty.
You know, if you want a website, it's called withinhours.com. And so now we're coming up to the RV campgrounds 4 hours from Hendersonville. Maybe some of these might.
Betty, everybody knows where Chris was staying. This is stupid. It's stupid, and you're trying to make yourself look like you're this big investigator. Betty, this is all stupid. This is just ridiculous. Everybody knows where Chris was. This doesn't matter. Moot. Doesn't matter.
Ring a bell. I don't know if it's Saraland Campground, Cataloochee Campground in the Smoky Mountains National Park, Kalasaha River, I may have that wrong, River Campground, Old Corundum Mill Site Campground. We got the Lazy Z Campground, Wolding Mills, Lake Sydney, Lanier, War Hill Park, Dobbins Lakeside Campground, Blue Creek Park, Blue Creek. It looks like Meeman, Shelby Forest State Park, Grassy Tower Site, Barks Plantation. By the way, guys, I cannot see your comments at this moment when I'm on this particular viewing. And it gives you all the campgrounds around Hendersonville. Pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat. So I really think that this is going to take a lot of our research time away. Now, it still may not be what it is, but, you know, we were looking at his scratches. Could he have went to a state park? Would he have known of a secluded state park? Would he be apprised of something of the sort? I don't know, but it's definitely something to look into. We have Yellowwood State Forest, Brush Creek State Fish and Wildlife Area, Crawford County Fish and Wildlife, Big Bone Lick State Historical Site, Cherokee National Forest, Black Rock Mountain State Park. If anybody knows of whether Katie or Chris have ever visited any of these places, that might be crucial and critical as well. Black Rock Mountain State Park, John Tanner Park, Carroll County Park, Chehaw State Park, Watercress, Darter National Wildlife Refuge, Meeman Shelley, I think we already talked about that, Cache Memorial Conservation, Mingo National Wildlife.
Oh, this is insane. This is stupid. I'm fast forwarding.
It would be poor of us not to consider. It would be poor of us not to consider the RV parks, because think about it.
Why would we consider the RV parks? Think about it. This is stupid when everybody already knows where he was.
If we talk about the RV parks, if he had his RV attached to it, him driving in there, nobody would bat an eye. Is there a park off Route 48? Honestly, I don't know. I'll have to map it.
Right back. I'm gonna put my littles in. I'm gonna let this play.
So we do have, you know, some things to look at here. We do have timing. I promised you guys we'd start getting back to the maps. And I'm running all of this by you because I know there's that, you know, 271 heads are better than one. And when we start looking at this, some of you might think, you know what, I remember hearing this, or I remember hearing that. You guys might be able to help connect some of these dots. So that's why I'm doing this. Give me just a second. No, we want to cancel. I don't want to leave. Okay, let's go to this one. Now, here are some cities. Some cities away, 4 hours away by plane. No, we don't really care about the cities by plane. We only care about the driving. So let's see what else they've got here. Places. I don't think they have distance. Might want to look at this. Like, they even have some here, 200 miles from Hendersonville. Well, we know that. Let's hit that one. See where this one takes us. 200 miles from Henderson. Let's look at what we got here. So we got Buckhead, Atlanta, Little Five Points, Piedmont Park, Middletown, Atlanta, Birmingham, Alabama, some of the same stuff that we had before. Here's some cities within 200 miles. Oakland, Tennessee, Atala, Alabama, Scottsburg, Indiana, Jasper, Alabama. A lot of Alabama and Kentucky in here. Maryville. Oh, look at that. Now we know that Maryville is 200 miles away. It's 4 hours. Mount Carmel, Illinois. So we got some areas here to look at. One of the areas, whenever I was going from Hendersonville or Gallatin, was Memphis. Oh boy. So I also did Gallatin, of course I did. And a lot of the stuff is pretty much somewhere similar, but there are a few additional additions to it, as you can see. But Birmingham, Alabama seems pretty interesting. I would have never really thought about that. But cities 4 hours from Gallatin is Roswell, Georgia, Chuckey, Tennessee, Greensburg, Indiana, Whiteland, Indiana, Harum, Georgia, Newport, Kentucky, Hazard, Kentucky, Villa Hills, Covington, Kentucky.
Sorry, guys, that I made you sit through that, but I had to tuck my littles in. They get this last week of staying up till 9, and then back to the regular scheduled night bedtime to get ready for school, to get used to, stay away from Alabama. This is insanity. Everybody knows where Chris was. This makes, I guess, he that 17 hours, the 10 hours she can't account for in her little pea brain, I guess he went to one of these places. I don't know. According to her. It makes no freaking sense. That's just a lot of, and law enforcement would have been none the wiser. They didn't check out his phone, his vehicle. He needed gas. He'd had to get gas somewhere. It just, I can't.
Smyrna.
Okay, I'm done.
So RV parks, and I think the RV parks, we don't want to.
If you're 55 or over, did you know there is a way to leave your loved ones with an inheritance of up to
could navigate comfortably without bringing a whole lot of attention to himself, especially if he already had his camper hooked up. A lot of people have been talking about Horn Lake, even though it's right there. But I'm just trying to figure out.
Betty, you don't need to figure nothing out. And it really don't matter, because law enforcement knows where he was, and he knows where he was. So, and that's really all that matters. This is stupid.
Would Chris? Oh, hey, Nola's mom. We know you've been around a lot longer. Welcome to the family, but you've already been part. BHB said my town. Well, then start looking. Hey, you never know. Get a picture of Chris and start going to the convenience stores and asking them if they've seen this guy around. How mind-blowing would it be if they did?
Told you.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
if one of those towns are y'all's, go print out a Chris Proudfoot picture. And literally take it up.
Did I not tell you? She is encouraging people to be passing Chris's picture around. This man is not wanted for any crime. He is not a criminal on the run. He is a private citizen whose son ran away, whose stepson ran away. He's not wanted by the law. He's not been declared a suspect. He's not been arrested or charged. And she's having people go show his picture around. It's... I'm sorry, but a lot of people may not agree with me, and that's fine. We can all have our own. But I really think the only way she's going to leave this family alone and leave this and stop is if they do it legally. Because any response with social media is just going to fuel the fire with her, because that's what she's striving for. But yeah, and it may just be as simple as getting a TRO, because they have evidence to get a TRO, especially Bower Sox. But even Chris and Katie do. I don't know. I think Sebastian was abducted. We had a case years ago. The boy was missing for 4 years. Look up Sean Hornbeck. The family has a foundation. He was missing for 4 years and came home safe. Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, she's so close, y'all. Chris is going down. Yeah, and she has hallucinations of that. I truly believe that. Tony Mathis investigates. Okay, if you're a troll, you can't be nice. You can have fun, but just be clean and be nice. But 9 days ago you started your account? Interesting. Okay. Just behave. Nothing wrong with a good troll, but you can't get nasty. Mods are on it. Okay, you gotta go, Tony. You need timed out, Tony. Why won't it let me time out? What the hell? Won't let me time out? Oh, won't let me block him? There it is. Okay. Alright, we got rid of him. Do I have mods in here? Yeah, I have some. Okay. KCG, Starry Night. Thought I seen Thor. Okay. All right, let's get back into
the convenience stores, by the interstate or in your rural areas. Might be something.
Yeah, look at how excited she is. Nola's mom's telling her, and Betty's all excited because Nola's mom is saying that they're in her backyard. Look at how big her eyes are. Betty, you are encouraging people to go stalk someone. To go dig in their lives. It's none of their business.
Yeah, I've got storms really bad here. I can't stay on here too long. I just wanted to give you guys some ideas. I got a dog, a puppy that is doing something in the living room, and I don't know what. I probably should go check on her before she starts chewing internet wires and stuff like that. Who knows? It's definitely
now, mind
interesting.
She's been saying bye at the 20-minute and 46-second mark. This live is 53 minutes and 46 seconds. So it actually took her 33 minutes to leave after saying goodbye. That she was getting off here because of the dog.
Say the least. That's all I can say. It's a lot more. Oh, look at that, Angelina. I'm so sorry I missed you. Thanks for being one of the few creators that responds to emails. Aw, thank you. Yes. I try to respond as much as I can. Sometimes I can only do an emoji. When I'm looking at 1,000 emails.
I respond when I can. And if it's cartoons and stuff, I play them. So I don't know if I'm supposed to respond to them. Hey, Forgotten, how are you?
I might just be able to give you a thumbs up or a heart, but know that I read your email.
Enjoy your shopping.
Oh, here we go. Oh, nice to see you. Thank you, Jen. That's so sweet.
All right.
Miles north of his home. I don't know what is out there, but I use Spirit Talker myself for fun, and I can definitely say they are reliable. Interesting.
Oh my God, she uses a Spirit Box app, and she says it's reliable. Hey, Muffin Mouse, good to see you. Hey, see Nikki. Yeah, okay.
Well, all I know is I truly believe that if Chris was responsible for making Sebastian disappear, I truly believe his statement that they're never going to find him.
Oh.
Unfortunately. That is... I just have this feeling he said it out of his mouth, and
you took that little statement so far out of context. I'm gonna dig up. Oh, thank you, Forgotten. Thank you so much. Wow. Hey everybody, welcome to Poolside. Halo 1, please thank Forgotten for the gifted membership. Go ask Alice. Odin Girl, Becca. Well, welcome to Poolside, guys. You are now Poolside Misfits.
All feel that he is potentially the one that had the means and opportunity of disposal or hiding. Okay, whichever your theory is, whether your theory is that he's...
Now, didn't earlier today you said that no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't put him there? So, okay.
House somewhere at a monastery or inpatient schooling or something like that. Or if you believe like me, statistically speaking, this child is, whatever the case may be, we're looking at all fronts because we truly don't know. And I've got to be honest with you.
You don't know. but you state it as fact, Betty. You'll say you're 100% sure, or you'll say, I can guarantee he wasn't at work, or I can guarantee he was here, and you don't know. If people would just listen to what you actually say, I don't think you'd have as many subs as you do, Betty. I really don't. I think a lot of them do hate watch you, though, because you even have more haters on TikTok. Dear Lord, they come over here just to watch you over here and comment over here, and you know that. Stop.
It's the only one that has the opportunity. You guys, Miss Moore, you know I wouldn't mind. I have to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind at this point. You know, I'm a boss. That's the biggest group. Well, that's one of your areas was called on that list. That's within 4 hours. Now, that doesn't mean he went out that much. I'm just trying to fill in a 17-hour timeline, and I can take 7 hours.
Where did you get this 17-hour timeline in the first place? And why the hell are you filling it in? This isn't filling the dots, you know? This isn't, make it up as you go along. And that's exactly what you're doing, making it up with all this off-the-wall stuff that don't make a bit of damn sense. You need to look at what Seth Roger Investigates said. I thought I blocked them out. You can still see them? At time. Oh man, he keeps coming back in. All right, you're hid this time, buddy. Thank you. I'm sorry, I thought I blocked you. Came in under another account. Rapper, chill out. Thank you, Darcy. Sorry about that. I think I need to think about adding some more mods for troll nights like this. The more the better. I have good mods, but they can't always be here. People can't be here every night. Hey, Beer Can. It's Groundhog Day with Betty. Some old playbook. Came back in. It's me, Tiffany. Holy cow. They're fast, aren't they? Thank you, Tiffany. But I think I will, because people have real lives and they can't always be here, or they can't hang out the whole time. So I do need to. Hey, Mia. It's got to be one.
Reasonably, if you're in a rush.
Rapper said someone cloned him, and it wasn't him. But I don't know. There's so many. Rapper has so many. I swear they have hundreds of them. It's like, jeez. How do you keep track? How do you remember? I mean, don't you have to have an email address for every YouTube? Oh, it's okay. It's okay, guys. I just appreciate you, and I know you got other things to do. And I think it would be nice just you guys to have backup. So I need to consider some other ones just to make sure everybody's covered. I appreciate you guys. Are you kidding? You give me your time for nothing. You do this for nothing. I can't ask nothing of you. I mean, y'all got real lives too. Moose Moxie. Oh, I love the moose. That's me, my husband's nickname, Moosey Moosey. Oh, well, welcome in. Oh, welcome in, Moose. We are Poolside. We are the Poolside Misfits. We talk ish with facts. It's fun-ish. Okay, let's get back into this Bullhorn thing. I'm not even into the dog handler saying the planted evidence yet. Jeez.
Maybe 2 tops. So you're looking at 8 hours, 9 hours, potentially still leaving us time for a 4-hour trip. But you have to remember, there's got to be some type of method that he used. How quick was that method? All this.
Daddy, why would he do any of that? When law enforcement would be able to easily trace his steps. Why would he do any of that? You're ridiculous. You live in a really distorted reality to the point where you're right up there with being deranged. Remember when that officer came to your house and gave you that info on mental health? Seriously, Betty, I think that just so much has collided for you at one time that you've always wanted, and you lost reality. You please consider at least reading the pamphlets that she gave you. That's all I'm asking. I'm not trying to be mean here. I'll be mean in a minute, but I'm not trying to be mean right now. You've really let this go beyond. Whew. If this is what you do when you get some subs and you get a parent in your pocket, ooh, I'd hate to see what you do if you ever get some real facts. I mean, that's a slim to none chance, but there's that little 0.1% chance. But okay.
All up for speculation and interpretation. I'm just trying to problem solve my way to an area.
That Moose is cool. Me and my husband's nicknames have been Moose and Moosey. His friends gave it to us one night when we were all out partying, and somebody got kicked out of the truck by accident and landed on top of each other. And I got called a moose. And I said, do I look like a fucking moose? And everybody cracked up laughing. So he was Moose and I was Moosey P. From that day on. You had to be there. I didn't mean to, push her out and on top of him, but it was funny. Happens when you're drunk,
And, I think we need to go,
that was
like
years
some people
ago.
say, further in and out, but I'm still trying to figure out the 17 hours. And would he have been sleeping? Would he have slept during that? And
we were still just, yeah. No. Were we married yet? Yeah, we were married when that happened. I was walking downtown with my mom, and this pickup truck comes by, and all of a sudden you hear these guys yelling, "Hey, Moosey!" I was so embarrassed because they're screaming Moosey out the freaking, car windows.
I don't know. Is there a couple hours of sleep in this equation?
Well, I don't know. If he's a superhero, remember last time you had your maps and you said you took over an hour off the route, but which is impossible to do, because there is just that one road, but you just took a whole section of the map out. Like Chris is like some superhero and jumped on over all that whole section. So, maybe he doesn't need sleep. I mean, you're off the wall theories, Betty.
Difficult.
Okay, let's move on because we're never.
Say goodbye to old costly cable TV once and for all.
Down, Betty, please.
This revolutionary invention gives you access to your favorite.
Turn your ads down.
Okay, this definitely has a timeout button on it, and I know. Sorry about that. That happened yesterday.
She's got a timeout button.
But we're just trying to problem solve our way out of this, and if we can try.
You're gonna you got a timeout button? You need to use it more often. You need to put yourself in timeout a lot. I use it a lot. It's my best friend with my littles. But listen, never mind. You're not going to listen.
To get some type of timing on him, we can reasonably think where he may have went. Now, it may be.
He went. He got the camper. He loaded it up. There's things you got to do to the fifth wheel to get it ready to move. And then you hook it up to the truck and you drive it home. That's what he did. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
From the Hendersonville or Gallatin area, in my opinion, because those are the places he's most comfortable with. Now, depending on, the method.
Method of what?
I talk to a lot of military.
Oh, Lord.
About methods. I'm not gonna, explain it here on my channel at all. But one of the methods that would be used would most likely take a significant amount of time to do. Okay? It's not easy. It's a very gruesome process. If that theory holds water, my understanding is, even though it's not that military would go out and do this. I mean, obviously, thank God we don't have a lot more military people, utilizing their training, but they're also trained not to, to only use it in certain situations. They're well trained. We have well trained military. And so one of the things that we train is control, control practices and things like that. Maybe like that Letitia lady did, he was thrown off the bridge. Yeah, but that seems like he would have been back a lot quicker than 17 hours if that was the case. And Humpty, again, it seems like he would be back a lot quicker than 17 hours if that were the case. CP ultimately hid, hold on, would you say, Latrice? Ultimately hid the body. KP honest when she said she doesn't know where he is. I think she could pass because she doesn't. I think it was a handoff and he told her go back in the house. He'll take care of it from here. And I think he did just that, and they never spoke about that again. But still, we have a 17 hours that we need to fill up.
Like I said, I'm going to ask, I hate to bother Duchess, but maybe nonsense, maybe This 17 hours, was that stated by Chris and Katie, or is that something that has come from the idiots? Because that's where I can't find anything where he stated that, but I could be missing it. I got to look at it, a little bit more. But I only remember hearing it from her, and then others repeated it from her. But I want to make sure. Coming in here to cool up. Uh-oh. I'm so sorry. Yeah, see, I didn't want to. I know Duchess is really, really busy right now. So next time I see her in chat, or I might just send her an email. Maybe she'll know. Because I don't recall Chris and Katie saying that. And I did a little bit of looking, and I didn't see anything where they said it. I only hear it from this thing here. Oh, I hope you do get the all clear. Beer can. Betty, this is insane.
And it seems like the path of least resistance may not be his method.
I'm going to show.
And the reason why I say
I'm going to skip a little bit more of this because I want to show what that Julie or Jules, whatever the frick her name is, the allegation she laid down today about, like I said in the beginning, I had red flags with her from the start, but I was never mean to the woman. I never spoke to her. I've seen her a lot on panels, not reputable panels, but anyway, I won't say anything more about that, but she was really biased. But in all honesty, would that surprise me with everything else that's been done? No. These people, this stuff has gone so far. People getting doxxed, people's doxes being passed around, people being harassed and threatened. It's insane. Hey, Riverhouse. You think her military intel is coming from Julia? Possible. Yeah, she is shady. See, I just had red flags with her from the get-go. It just, some things just didn't add up for me, and they still don't. But that's why I want to show what, it's a long live. I'll show some today. Maybe I'll show some tomorrow, but and then Teri Lynn reacted. Hey, Lisa. Teri Lynn reacted and was upset about it. And I'm sorry, but I can't say I haven't had those thoughts about Teri Lynn myself because I'd be lying. And I'm not going to lie. Hey, true crime comedy. So Teri Lynn's another one that's, she's out there. You're fine, nonsense. Don't worry about it. You didn't. Hey, Curious. I don't like that being done. And you're a friend of mine, and I don't like it when idiots are idiots because you don't go after their real lives. You don't care. You don't go down their roads. You call them out on what they do here. And then especially when you didn't do nothing to nobody. See, that's just another thing I have a problem with. But I have a problem with her anyway. That Jewel, I don't know. She just, I don't know.
Say that is because.
And I just, I don't know. I've let my husband listen to when she says about her commanding officer, told her to stop, to get out, and she didn't. My husband's like, no, you're not going to ignore your commander. You know.
It was a significant amount of time that those methods would be very quick. They wouldn't take that much time.
Oh my
I think the
God.
most time would be loading
What do
and
you
unloading.
think, Betty? Do you think that's all and you learn how to do that right away, and that's all they teach you in the military? You really have a low opinion of our military. You really, truly do.
Right? And based upon, if we wanted to talk about Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerra, that could be done fairly quickly. Quicker than we think it could.
Oh.
So we have to take that into consideration. And I just believe that Chris would make sure that nothing is found. So it's...
Betty, how could he do all that when you yourself earlier said that he wasn't even there, that he was out of town? Okay.
There's only several methods, but I think, unless he had an incinerator available, and I know you guys are talking about the funeral home, but I can tell you, even funeral homes are pretty regulated. I think when it comes to that, I think the best person to find out about the incinerators at funeral homes and things like that would be Justin For All. He used to be a mortician. So I think if anybody has any kind of insight on that and insight on how somebody could get away with something like that without knowledge of anybody, I think he would be the one that would have the expertise on that. I would think that, at that point, he would have had an opportunity to see kind of the ins and outs going, and stuff like that. So I'm interested in hearing what Justin For All has to say related to that. But I really do think
what? Oh my God.
That would be more in his forte and his experience from a prior, I've had prior experience. I can look up a lot of stuff related to real estate.
Yeah, the way she can discuss this and the things she can say, it's, I'm telling you, this woman, her reality is so distorted. She's deranged.
Records that are easily available online, and it was because of the work I did in real estate.
What work?
So we
Betty,
have all these.
You didn't. Will you stop lying to people? You're one of them people that had to inflate everything you did in life to make it bigger and more than it was. You didn't do all that. Well, stop, Betty. You never even sold a property. Stop it. It was a ruse. It was a free period that you had your real estate license. It didn't get renewed. You were also busted. Never mind. I can't. But yeah, I guess you helping people get fraudulent mortgages, showing fraudulent income. I guess that was your way of helping. Okay.
Things and all of our experiences, but just one thing I don't understand. For many of us, most of us, when we go to a funeral home, it's to show our respects for a family member or a friend. We don't know the ins and outs behind the scenes, or how highly regulated it is, or what needs to take place in order to do stuff. And, is the incinerator just like that crane? Is it monitored somehow? Does it record? Does it have like a black box when the doors open and something goes in? We don't know. Is it possible? It could be. We don't know how highly regulated that industry is.
Oh my God.
So I think we need to find out that information before just assuming.
So now, hey, never lose hope. Now she thinks there was a funeral home involved. It's funny, she uses a green screen at home, but showed the hotel. Yeah, she does that. Hey, Gina Marie. She does. I'm glad I'm not the only one who brought that up before. Yeah, she purposely let people know where she was. That was so fake and so manufactured and so easy to see through. Everything from the get-go. Her phone call, her stuff, everything. And no, she didn't use no green screen. And she can't say it's because I was at the hotel, because you can use a green screen anywhere. It's on your phone. This isn't the game of Clue. That's what this reminds me of each and every time. Yeah. Bad game of Clue.
it's easy to be done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we might find out it's very, very complicated to be done. You know, I don't know. But again, it still comes down to then what would have taken Chris? You know, it might be
another ad, right, Betty? You get a lot of ads.
All right, guys, I don't really know. I think I think the rain's starting to mess with my internet because stuff's starting to go out. With an attorney? Is it possible that he could have met with an attorney? Oh, thank you, Lovebug.
Okay. So now he met with an attorney. He drove 4 hours out of the way. And you're thinking it was to meet with an attorney. Okay. All right. Why?
Maybe that's maybe out of the area.
Okay. Why?
We do know an attorney came and visited him at his house.
Okay.
But one thing I was always told when I went to paralegal school, you know, one thing people don't do is they never call and ask an attorney before they unalive somebody, you know, find out what they do, you know, what they could do, because at the end of the day, an attorney can't go represent you if they know you did something. They can't allow you to perjure themselves. It goes against their license. They can't willfully allow you to perjure yourself. It's a violation of their license. So, you know, when I was in school, one of the recommendations is go see an attorney before and go see a different attorney after, because you're protected by attorney-client privilege in both cases, and therefore your attorneys can't communicate with each other.
Only if you.
Just saying, we had to think outside the box.
Oh my God. I can't.
Okay, we had to think outside the box. But one thing we do know is people don't call their attorneys and say, hey, before I do this, what should I do?
And yes, Chris has an attorney. He sure does. He's in a custody battle. It's a family law attorney for his custody battle, Betty. That's it.
You know, an attorney can't advise you.
You better hope he doesn't get himself a civil law attorney. Or, you know, even get one to, you know, just handle TROs against you. Because they'd succeed. They'd get them. And that's the only thing going to stop you. You're gonna get worse. Because you're going to be helping Seth out on his channel of grifting off his son. And that's all it's going to be about. It's all it's about. Share that Cash App, fill it up. Sorry, it's true.
You either. But they can advise the heck out of a hypothetical, which is pretty interesting. And they could do it lawfully. They could do it lawfully. They could talk about, you know, Aunt Jane Doe, right? Aunt Jane Doe wants to unalive her husband.
You don't do that, Betty. You not only say their full names, where they live, where they work, who their family and friends are. Yeah, you don't do it that way, Betty. You stalk these people, and now you got people taking pictures of Chris and taking him into stores to ask if people seen him. You're not allowed to do that, and neither are they.
You know? What do you think law enforcement would be looking for if Aunt Jane Doe decided to unalive her husband, right? Exactly. Nobody ever goes to that. We joked about it in the class, but that it is a true statement. But nobody ever asks for legal advice until the deed's done. So it makes me wonder, is it possible he went and saw an attorney in a different area so he knew what to say or not to say to his attorney that he's going to be using to represent him? It's possible.
Using to represent him for what? He had an attorney, Betty, a family law attorney, because he's in a custody battle, or he was. I don't know where that stands now. It's not my business. But, so, your point, represent him for what? Like I said, he's already had an attorney. That's been no secret.
Possible. It's possible.
You said a bad word. Oh.
You know, I try to think about these things, play the tape through, but I don't think that that's the case. I really don't. Thank you. I'm just going to go through here so you guys can see. We got Jen. She, I think she did another one as well. So if you received your gifted Bullhorn Buddy membership, please don't forget to tell Jen thank you. And again, if you guys received your gifted Bullhorn, I can't even, hold on. Hey, y'all driving. Wish we could have found. That's a good question. Again, I think there's something going on with my computer right now.
And she's going to grip for another computer. I don't know how many damn computers this woman needs.
I don't need this.
But remember the last one? She got a really nice one. and she sent it back, and she got that big screen TV and something else, something little. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I don't need on here. Okay. Nope, don't need that. Cleared now. Hopefully, I wish I could find out that too. And I wonder, that brings up a great point, Misty. As a matter of fact, did Chris make any cash withdrawals? Did he make any cash withdrawals before he went?
That's none of your business, Betty. And don't worry, if he did, law enforcement knows it. You claim to know so much about the law, but if there was all this evidence out there on Chris, you don't think law enforcement would have arrested him by now? There's no crime, Betty. There is no evidence. No one's been charged. That man is innocent right now until proven otherwise. And you've got people stalking his life just like you are.
Back to pick up his camper, because that might bode right into that, because at this point he would be thinking that they will be watching his credit cards. But going and making a withdrawal from the bank, or
which it doesn't. Oh my God, Betty, they're gonna watch his accounts. Period. Even a withdrawal at the bank would show up. Stop it! You're trying to manipulate your audience.
through an ATM, it helps stop some of that. Unless he is.
It doesn't. What? No, Betty. Anything that you do with your account is going to show up. It doesn't matter where you do it or how you do it. It's going to show up.
Carrying his phone around with him everywhere he goes. Like, say, if he just happened to pop over at Home Depot, and they see that he was there from this time to this time, they could probably go through their surveillance and find him and see what he's purchasing on their way out. One of the biggest things, these big.
And you don't think they don't know? If they need to know, they have the info, Betty.
Stores,
they
have great surveillance. They have great, like Walmart has some of the best surveillance inside their store. When somebody is in a Walmart, they seem to be able to find them quicker than crap. I don't know if they have like AI where they can find your face and track your face. I don't know, but it seems like they're very, very, very quick. And I have to think that these national chains like Home Depot, Lowe's, have some similar type. We know that there's cameras over every single register. So it's going to be very difficult for people to purchase items and sneak away with it. But it makes it more difficult if they're purchasing it with cash. If they're purchasing it with cash, unless they know what date and time you went in there, it makes it almost next to impossible to find out, especially if you don't have your phone on or you left your phone in the camper and went on some errands. Pointed out that Chris knows a lot about that black box in the vehicle. And it's my understanding that you can't really do anything with the black box in the vehicle unless, it's mechanically done. But because there was a comment that somebody said, now it's just rumor because I haven't been able to corroborate it unless somebody can find the clip where he says it on. But I believe that it was,
why are you always getting your stuff from everybody else? Do you ever do anything for yourself? No wonder you're so wrong all the time. You don't do anything for yourself. You want that clip if it exists, and you won't look for it yourself. You'll wait till someone finds it for you. And then you take everything out of context, but okay.
Something if they take this out, they'll wipe the whole entire black box or something to that effect.
Hey,
and I thought that was really stupid because GM has, if you guys remember, with
box store has cameras all through the store, especially by the cash registers. Yeah, but that's too much info for Betty. That would require the use of the rest of that brain cell.
Alec Murdaugh, they didn't need to tear his car apart to get the GM reports. Remember when Alec Murdaugh was in his trial, it was the state attorney that they never received the reports from GM, that they had subpoenaed GM, but they said Creighton Waters comes in over immediately that we do assess it, and they had their guys working on it, and just I'm not sure which. But do you guys remember that happening in rough. Oh wow, thank you, Ren. God bless you. Ren just gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. Michelle, thank you. God bless you. Gifted 1. Ren. So if we were to apply all of that, what if he did go get some of that stuff. You know, if he was smart enough to go get cash. These are some really good questions. Hey, Nana Banana, it's nice to see you. Pebbles, B Betty, it's nice to see you guys.
God.
Nice to see you. I think it's the first time you've been able to see me, B Betty. I want to tell you
Betty,
thank you.
do you not know anything about a bank account? It don't matter. The transaction would still show up that there was money taken out of the account. It don't matter if you go in the bank in person and go up to the teller and take $500 out. That transaction will be there. They will see it.
Thank you for the bacon and
Oh,
the fattening
Dorsey,
donut,
thank you
which you know
so
I ate
much.
first.
Hey, and then Greg, welcome to Fullside. You are now a Fullside misfit.
Followed by the 2 bags of candy.
Dorsey.
If any, and you can't tell anybody. And if anybody says anything or asks me whether I ate 2 bags of candy, I'm denying it. Okay, I'm just letting you know right now. I'm denying it. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. How they found Murdaugh's phone by slowed down 2 miles an hour right there at the place that they saw.
I can't listen to her anymore.
You know, having somebody up there and entering it into the record. So when we can get it into the record, somebody has to validate it and authenticate it, and you know, you have to be questioned on it. And haven't covered Memphis yet. So this is pretty interesting.
Now she's going to tell you he went to Memphis, came back, went back to Memphis, and then went home.
Gaylord Opryland Resort, the Grand Ole Opry, Nashville, which is right in their area.
Betty,
Franklin.
None of this has anything to do with this child being missing. If Chris would have went there, law enforcement would have been aware of it. They did check his electronics and his vehicles. Betty, stop. He didn't go to the Grand Ole Opry. He didn't go to none of those sightseeing places. Oh, Jesus. Oh, she's still looking at Memphis. I can't believe the time she wastes on this shit. This is why Betty doesn't do no real research. Hey, Beth. This is why she doesn't have real facts, because she wastes all her time on this crazy off-the-wall shit that has nothing to do with it. It's
away from this, 2 hours away from this. If you guys are in one of the areas, if you're near Yogi Bear Campground, maybe go into the hardware stores. See if Chris ever came in. Have a picture of Chris. Always have a picture of Chris and Katie. Because what if they didn't see him, but they saw her? We're definitely going to want to look at this.
She gets. Look at her face. Her eyes get huge. Now she wants them to show not only pictures of Chris, but Katie too.
I hope people are making calls to these schools in their states. If you have time and you're in a state other than
No, don't have people doing that. He was not put in some school for autistic children, Betty. There would be a paper trail. There would be a money trail. That would be expensive. Stop it. And stop having people bother these schools. Leave people alone.
Florida, please make calls to any type of in-house church. If you guys heard of a cultist church of some sort, maybe reach out to them. Not that they'll talk to you, but maybe letting them know that this child is.
Now there's a possibility they were in with the cultish church. What happened to the Indian reservation? See, y'all change up your stories too much. Can't keep up with this crap. What happened to being in Alaska at an Indian reservation? Did you just boot that? Did you debunk that, Betty? Because you were believing that. You were running with that too. You actually thought it was a possibility. You think that Bower Sox have the ability to shut down Alaska. But okay.
It's missing and law enforcement's looking for them and just want to bring it to their attention if they see anybody in the area to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We want to do that for the schools as well. Yogis have cameras everywhere. Yeah, I know.
Fine.
I know.
Tell people to email them, but don't burn up their phone lines.
It's very interesting.
I think
it's very interesting. If Chris is reading,
exactly,
God is still going to get you. There's.
Well, according to Betty, There's hours she can't account for in this 17-hour window. So any place that was within 4 hours in any direction is a possibility, because then she said he drove to Memphis. Then he drove back. Then he drove to Memphis again. He turned around and went right back to Memphis. Then he turned around and came right back home. Because she can't account for these hours that nobody knows anything about but her.
I have to think. Well, you know what? I was doing some studying. I'm gonna close out after this. I was doing some studying.
Betty, you said bye at the 20-minute and 48-second or 43-second mark. We are now at the 53:46, and you still haven't left.
You know, and looking, as a matter of fact, phone is, I might have it there. It was from the FBI. It's from the FBI. And I was, please tell me I saved it.
Comb your hair, Bets, at least.
Here it is. So I'm doing research on no-body homicides, okay? I'm doing research on no-body homicides.
So what you did was you Googled it. You seen the FBI article, which is one of the first things that come up, and that's as far as you went. Yeah, we know.
And I'm going to information that is coming from good resources such as the FBI. Kind of breaks down, you know, volunteer, what do they call it? Disappearing voluntarily, and, you know, explaining some of the nuances and stuff like that. Preserving essential data. A no-body homicide often begins as a missing person case. In such scenarios, an early determination that the matter is more than a routine case often results in successful prosecution. The amount and variety of electronic information, cellular data, social media postings, automated searches, surveillance camera footage, and video or audio recordings accumulated, stored, purged, and then replaced with new data results a limited shelf life before becoming lost for forever. Investigators must make the effort as soon as possible to preserve, freeze, capture, and gather this information. The same holds true for forensic details. People sometimes wipe data or compromise the integrity of a crime scene when they do not detect or preserve information, possibly because no one originally acknowledged it as a location of a crime. Correctly assessing where a crime occurred and gathering forensic evidence from the scene proves crucial to the investigation. Capturing details of actual memories becomes important for an investigator to discern truth over lies. Successful preservation of conversations, observations, and interactions with others directly correlates to when the
this has nothing to do with Sebastian's case. There's been no crime.
Investigator captured them and how important they are to.
Okay, I'm fast forwarding.
Over time, seemingly routine behavior clues become nebulous, and over-memorable events become forgotten. A simple communication with another person often blends with memories of memorable or irrelevant estimates important to get forensics. This is now coming from the FBI.
He's back on the forensics thing. Betty, that's if a crime's been committed. There's been no crime committed. There's been no evidence of a crime. There is no reason to run all these forensics. And we don't know what they've done. They've been in that house so many times. You have no idea what they've done. This is ridiculous. Betty, this is not a murmur investigation.
We have a National Center of...
Yeah, where a crime occurred. Yeah, hey, Touchgrass. There's been no evidence of any foul play.
Missing and exploited children directive that wasn't followed to a T. We've got the FBI that leads directives here that say...
Betty, that from the FBI is if there's a crime. There's no crime here. Law enforcement has went above and beyond in this case. You need to stop, because they have done it all and are still doing it.
You know, we need to collect this as soon as possible. And now we have TBI in Sumner County that doesn't have one stitch of forensic evidence from inside that home. And people are trying to tell me that they're doing everything they can to turn over every stone. And they can't find any type of evidence of foul play. And it makes me wonder, It makes me wonder.
There you go, Betty. You just answered it for yourself. You just said there's no evidence of foul play. Does she not even listen to what she says?
Are they really looking for it? Because at this point, we have no forensics that we know of. And if we do, why is law enforcement adamant about not allowing people to know that they're doing their job? We're not asking for information other than, did they do these?
Because it's an open, active investigation, Betty. No one should even have to tell your dumb arse that. They're not going to give you anything that could jeopardize the investigation. Common sense.
Things. Did they follow the directives of the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children? And why aren't they acknowledging whether they have or have not? And if they have not, when are they planning on catching up? I think it's the concern of many people, including the family, or at least Seth. Because I think that Chris and Katie just want him to be a runaway child and this just kind of go away, you know?
No, you're wrong and you're not funny. You're trying to be a little cocky.
I don't think they really give a rat's ass whether their son ever comes home or whether he's breathing or on this earth ever again. Katie does not even seem to give a shit.
You don't know anything about Katie. Like I said, you're a tunnel rat. You can't see beyond that tunnel. You are stuck. Because from the get-go, you've been after them. You've never given anything a real chance. You won't listen to what they're actually saying. You won't look at that woman's face, Betty. That woman's face in those interviews, that's a broken mother. She's distraught, Betty. Her child is missing. You don't know these people. You know nothing about them. You think the way, you think the way Seth has been acting, his behavior is good because that's the kind of shit we see from you. 2 peas in a pod, in my opinion. Boy, you're going to have a rude... Are you going to backtrack on all this, Betty? Because my gut tells me you're going to have to. Are you going to just say, well, he used me. Poor me, I'm the victim. Yeah, no, you're not a victim. But that's what you're going to try to do. Because it will come to a head with Seth. Just ask anybody else that was on his team.
About a child she gave birth to. She's a disgusting, despicable woman.
You don't know her. You don't know anything about her. The only disgusting, despicable woman is you.
And I will say nothing different than that. She's the one that gave birth to this child. She brought him into this world, and I believe she took him out.
He's her child. It's one thing you're right about, Betty. You're wrong about taking him out. But it's her child, not yours.
God bless.
And then you have the nerve to say God bless at the end of that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow. I can't, man. You tell me how Seth is good with that shit. The more and more she talks, the more and more she says. That speaks volumes. Okay, now we're going to change it up a little bit because my hubby's home, so I want to get finished. I want to, I'm only going to play a little bit of this, and then either tomorrow we can, hey Ariana, I love that name, go over some more of it. But hey KCG, how are you? Okay, the dog handler, Jules. Okay, I'm going to change her name because I called her Julia. I'll fix that in my description. She said some things a lot today. I've never hid the fact that some just didn't add up with her. But she said about the possibility of evidence being planted. And for Teri Lynn, I guess, got wind of it and was flipping. But, yeah. It's all crazy. But I'm going to try to get right to the part where she talks about that. Because she was up there for a while. It was a good live.
The first Instagram message I ever got.
Yeah, it's not a trick question by any means. I just had never heard of her being involved that early, right? And I could be the one that's wrong. You feel what I'm saying? And maybe the panel can help me. But I was under the impression that she was involved later in the situation. But if she was around back when UNC was involved.
Wait, I'm trying to get to the part.
I can
type it in the back. Type it in the back. Drop it down in chat. She said she could, and then she typed it in the back chat and just asked us what the question was. And she heard us say it twice, so I mean, I'm guessing so.
With all due respect, if she's deputized, she has to answer that question.
I don't know that. I don't know the legal procedure. I don't know.
If you ask a law enforcement officer and being deputized,
you can't talk about it.
I don't know if that's an excuse. That's
I'm saying I think it is. I think.
Send it just yet. That's why I said earlier she'll get it today. I just want to put a few more screenshots I've done in this.
Okay, hold on. You said you've already sent it. You said you've already sent it to.
I want to put a few more screenshots I want to put in this document before I send you.
Now, apparently, this Julie is emailing all these creators all this stuff, but she's been promising to email something, and she hasn't. And now she's saying it's because she found more stuff she wanted to add to it. But apparently, she's emailing all kind of info to all kind of creators that she shouldn't be doing, and I don't even understand.
I'm gonna send it to you. I pulled a few more screenshots I want to put in this document before I send it to you. That's why I haven't sent it just yet. That's why I said earlier she'll get it today. I just want to put a few more screenshots I've done in this.
Okay, hold on. You said you've already sent it. You said you've already sent it to others. So why the hell can't I get the PDF?
Could the mod please share Queen Bee's link?
I have a question. What is where you said you saw this information about planting evidence on social media? I mean, like, that seems a little odd. Then you say you reported to the police. I'm not sure. Did you just see a post on social media about planting evidence, or did you actually have a conversation with someone about planting evidence via Messenger or something?
I've seen there was a bunch of posts everywhere about people who they were suspecting. Oh, this person found, maybe they're gonna plant something. And then I screenshotted all of the stuff. I put it on a document, and I was just like, I'm gonna send this to the agent I've been talking to. So I did. But the big issue was why I refused to not go with an individual. It's because I heard 3 different stories. I mentioned this earlier. I heard 3 different stories about something that was found before I even came to the state.
Okay. Now, she said that people were... BHV has Alzheimer's on the brain, of dementia on the brain. She can't say her shit. She believes evidence could be planted. Then she's saying, what she's going to say next is she thinks she was going to be set up with this evidence, and that the evidence could have been planted at someone's house, Cluemanitis, Chris and Katie's, it's insane.
And then I was just like, and I think, I don't know if it was dated in the other pictures I sent to Truth previously, or
but we have Eric Craddock saying don't send us any tips from social media. So I'm not understanding this at all. I'm really not.
And if I'm sorry, but I'm starting to get a little fucking heated here. Why are you sending shit to Truth when it involves my property? Why aren't you sending it to me? That's the biggest bunch of bullshit I have ever seen. Send it, Jules. Send it. Send me
if not, how about this? If I don't get it in the next hour, I'm calling TBI on your ass. How about that? How about that? You want to hide shit? And listen, fuck you for minute. Shut up. This involves some real life shit where someone could be implicated for something they had absolutely nothing to fucking do with. How dumb are you? that you want to sit here and go back and forth with someone who you're not even speaking about. This person
So apparently what's going on is instead of emailing Clue and letting her know that, you know, her property was possibly mentioned as, you know, about this supposedly planting evidence, and the Proudfoots was mentioned, she was gonna send it to Truth, but she never sent it to Truth either. But she's been sending emails to all kinds of creators, you know, to Granny, to Truth, several of them, to Jays for Justice.
Be potentially implicated. We, however, could be. But you want to sit there and send that information to other people. Like,
well, you already was. Your property. Shit, that's your property. What the fuck you think? Possession's not against the law, baby. That's you.
Deputized,
y'all. She's deputized.
I want to know where you brought in.
Was deputized? What the hell? You can see Betty going off the deep, and yeah, she does remind you of Kathy Bates, doesn't she?
To do this, to plant evidence.
100%, I agree with that right there.
I want to know if
hold on, one at a time.
What I want to know is because you wanted to get into the Proudfoots property, were you told, and you were biased against the Proudfoot, so I imagine were you told stuff against the Proudfoots that made you biased against them so that they could plant you to go there to sort of so-called search and plant evidence? Is that what you were really brought in for?
No, I was brought in because after being contacted, I was told that they didn't, Seth and the team didn't have faith in Sumner County or anything else. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I can run my canines and come search. Because again, like I mentioned earlier, I really was just in this for my heart, not my brain. And I was just like a missing kid. I love working with my dogs and helping. So I would never in a million years ever agree if I knew I was going to be asked to plan something. I would never do that. I mean, I have a career in retirement to think of. I would never do that. I swear to God, I would never do that.
Well, I understand that, but did they ask you to plant evidence, and then you're
Well, I think the opposite question to that is do you think that they were going to use you to find planted evidence?
Yes.
I think that's the other side of that question, right?
Wait,
not
what?
necessarily. Well, that's my question is, do you feel like it is because they may have used you to find evidence that was planted by somebody? I'm not pointing at anybody because I'm not sure who is who.
Like you were being set up.
That's
right?
what I was concerned about with, and I've been concerned about that the past couple of weeks. That's why I stepped away, because, I mean, bringing my dogs to check out an item that was found before I even got to
Wait. Are you saying that you got into social media, people randomly told you a location to search, and then they expect you to search there? Is that what I'm basically understanding?
I asked for tips for places to search, and I just said everyone's ideas, I'll go search there. So I really was just trying to just help. So I was accepting.
Did you find an item there that was told to you in a location, or did you just get a message on social media and didn't find anything when you searched there?
You're talking about the items. So the item that was found that I was questioning was found 5 days before I got there, and then I kept getting asked, "Oh, bring your dogs to check out the item." I don't know what that would have really done. I mean, I don't know why I wasn't turned over to law enforcement initially, and that's what my commanding officer was just like, "Hey, you know, don't." I'm sorry. I just had concerns about going and checking out evidence that wasn't initially turned over to law enforcement, because there's no proper chain of custody that way. You know, I didn't want to get
deputized. But I thought you were deputized, so it doesn't matter, right?
This was before I was Voices.
Yeah, that's not quite
before I was.
Yeah, that's not quite answering.
All right, here we're gonna take a time out because I'm gonna read some of these people. They're doing super chats to ask questions.
Okay, so what do you guys think about what she's saying? Now, Teri Lynn gets all bent out of shape, and I think she even did her own on her. She was live or something. But do you think anything of this? Do you think it's that far off the box? Do you think she's totally full of shit? She said that she had 35 warrants to hand out with one Ellie in the area. No way is Ellie gonna create warrants from her. Yeah. And the deputized thing, And the way she keeps people confused with the way, and I think she does it on purpose. Hey, unhoused person. I think she does it. I want to know who summoned her back. Queen, she derailed Queen's life. They were talking about something else, and she come in and she hit the link and went up. And at first, Queen told her, look, we're not really talking about this. We're, so just go ahead and say it and then be done. But she just never left for hours, for a long time, and then she'd come back, leave and come back. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know why she chose to go in there today. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Nightstar. Nightstar. It's crazy. But
and that's I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna share log looking for Sebastian.
She answered that already. I read that out loud. She
okay.
Said from
Jane. Okay, so please ask Jules how to reach her. Got that one. We already got that. Kaden. Okay, here Kaylin said, Jim with the $10 super chat said, if you truly have ethics and value your professional standing, why discuss biases on YouTube and panel up anyways?
And in the beginning, when Jules came up, Voices got a dog handler that she knows on the phone, and he was listening to her, to what Jules was saying, and then he said something. He's like, no, you shouldn't even be talking. And yeah, it's a whole long lot, but it was crazy.
Yeah,
Voices lost it on her first.
And it's Amberly just pointed out something. If you read her message,
yeah, but I'm reading these first. Hold on, honey, I'm reading these first because
they're
doing super chats. So I don't know how that works, but that's on her. Queen, you're definitely earned a name. Those on panel for those who are late, reading every answer she does give. Okay, she's repeating questions as answers. This is pointless. All right, exactly. That girl says, Julia, answer. Okay, Jules, answer what you can, but be direct. If you can't say, then move on and keep your credibility. YouTube. Yeah, I still got more to go, though, like 3 or 4 more to go.
DM on social media, and then get to a total location to go to, and then find an item there that was planted by someone else.
No, I did not go find an item that was planted by somebody else.
But there was an item there.
Audacity said here. Audacity said T-Rev said summon Michaela's house, deputized her. So did Michaela deputize you?
No.
Okay. That Michelle says, what is her affiliation with T-Rev and Michaela? I think we went over that. Sluicid best case says, what are you afraid of, Jules? Sebastian has been missing for over 4 months. The least you can do is the right thing. You took an oath to serve. Remember that. That's Jules should have. Okay, so here's Jules should email all parties involved with the agent's name, and you discussed it with, which you should have gave Clue that information already. It's about her fucking house.
She sent it because.
Did you get my email from the other night?
Make sure you've seen that shit. You know what I'm saying? Impersonation of a deputy will ruin your career. Don't you know that? And she said, you are lying. Okay, so Jan.
No, I'm just going to follow up. So you took a screenshot of these locations that these people told you to check on social media. You sent it to TBI, but you're telling me you never went to locations that you were being recommended on social media to check for evidence?
No. So the initial item that I was asked to check out, again, before I got there, I was like, okay, you know what? If this is actually something legit and it hasn't been turned over to law enforcement, it's been in someone else's custody for however many plus days, that could be considered contaminated evidence. So I said, let me go about this the right way. Let me go to the local and state and federal agencies and see about getting deputized so I can maybe do a better chain of custody of evidence. So that was the first thing. But the locations I was sending emails, I would go and I would check, and no, there was nothing I found there that I think someone planted there. I would go to these locations and search because they were recommended to me.
And you found no items there, what they were told you there. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Hey, Lurker. Okay, but I know that Teri Lynn's going to have a fit because apparently, maybe I didn't go back far enough. Maybe I need to back it up a little bit more. Somehow Teri Lynn gets as one of the people, I guess, that she said could do this or would do this. And Teri Lynn goes off. But I do remember hearing, I don't watch Teri Lynn, so I don't know. But I thought I remembered hearing that she was driving around with some type of supposed evidence in her car for weeks. I don't know.
Just very interesting. Then why did you take a screenshot of everything and send it to TBI about planting evidence then?
Because these were potential locations that I was concerned about, and this was the evidence from before I got there.
So you were the one worried about planted evidence, nobody else?
I was worried about it, yeah.
All right. So this is something you've done. This is something you made up and rolled with, and nobody else said shit about it. You did.
I mean, it's not made up. I mean, was genuinely concerned.
Okay.
Where did you get the official scent article for Sebastian?
From TBI. So there's a difference between articles collected for
What did
evidence.
they give you? What did TBI give you?
They gave me a shoe. There's a difference. There's a difference
doesn't
between
make
evidence.
sense.
I'm sorry, they gave you a shoe?
They gave you their evidence to sniff?
It's
That
not-
don't make any sense, that they
it's
would
not-
take their evidence.
There's clothes that are tagged for evidence, and there's clothes that are specifically for canines to search. So they bag and tag certain items for DNA, and they bag and tag certain items for canines to detect. So there's a difference. I didn't take the stuff that was specifically labeled for evidence. I took the stuff that was for the canines to be used for searching.
And do you still have possession of this item?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you still have possession of this item, or did you just
No.
go to the precinct and just have your dog sniff it? When did
No,
you
I
return it?
didn't keep it.
Where was this evidence collected from that you used, or that they gave you to use for your scent dogs?
I'm assuming from Chris and Katie's house. I didn't ask that question. I just asked what can I use for scent.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to butt in again. I've tried to be really quiet.
No, you're fine.
How did you give your dogs something to smell when they were searching without the item?
I was just going to say that.
That's why I was going to be my follow-up question. Thank you, Truth.
You're talking
Sorry,
about so cadaver canines don't need an article when they're searching.
Right.
So Ara didn't need one. As far as Gator goes, before I even was talking to anybody about getting articles or using anything, he uses scent discrimination, and I covered this before in a live. He's just man trailing, so he can go off of like. This is how like in. And I mentioned this before, if a fugitive escapes prison and goes running, what are the chances you're going to have an article from somebody who's on the run unless they're naked running through the woods and they drop their clothes? That's why like, you don't always need an article for every single search. But cadaver canines, absolutely. Like whenever I'm with Ara doesn't need a scent article. She's looking for, a deceased individual. She doesn't need an article.
So I don't know. Do you think that law enforcement? I don't know. I mean, she's so biased from the get-go. She has always thought that Chris and Katie were somehow involved. Chris clearly didn't want her, didn't even need her there. I don't know. Why would law enforcement give her a shoe? I don't know.
They give you a shoe then?
Because it's what I asked for, because this is for Gator, not for Ara. Gator can do article or he can do scent discrimination. So when Gator's doing a search, I like shoes because that's something the individual sweats onto directly because it's going from the bottom of their foot directly into the shoe. There's the risk of cross-contamination is extremely low. Like if you a shirt, like what if Katie touched it, what if Chris touched? This happens what happened with Stacey Peterson when they used her sunglasses. Her husband handled the glasses before he gave them over to the canine handler. So that's why the canine handler scent was messed up. It was in that book I read on my live, the one that I read that case specifically.
Well, see, I thought you went to Seth to get items of Sebastian.
No, I was gonna go to Seth, but once things started smelling fishy and everything, that's when I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna work directly with law enforcement. And I'm talking.
But I think you said that you didn't get any items from Seth or the law enforcement, and you were just strictly doing cadaver. That was what you told me.
It was initially until I went the route I went about getting deputized, and I went directly only with law enforcement.
Did you have any proof that she was deputized? I mean, yeah, it's just not. Lucy, it's not adding up. Okay, why won't this charge? Come on now. Oh, this is pissing me off.
Enforcement, because for a while I was just waiting to go to Seth directly because I was like, maybe this is the best way to go. But after consulting my colonel, he was just like, no, Julia, go to law enforcement because that way you're protected, you're covered. And then there's no risk of like, what if like a liability issue thing too? Like, what if Seth gave me a shirt that was super precious to him, and like I was out in a search with Gator and something happened to it, it ripped, or what if something happened? Like that's a wild scenario, but it's one example I can think of. So I just had to be careful.
They allowed you access to that based on the fact that you were deputized and not a third-party searcher. Is that correct?
Well, also because my certifications are with USPCA. That's not like a random AKC certification. That's United States.
But we also, yeah, I get that, right? But use it. I know it's not trying to be rude, but going through all that, it's not addressing the situation, right? The situation is they would not give that to a third party because TBI specifically said that they weren't working hand in hand or working with third party searchers, right?
I'm not a third party searcher because of the organ I'm certified. It doesn't cost me. If I was like a random searcher with a kennel cert, yeah, that's a third party or AKC. But I'm with USPCA. That's a legit like police level. It's a national cert, so it's a little bit different.
It had nothing to do with you being deputized.
No, it had to do with my canine certifications and the fact that I was legit.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question from LFT. When were you deputized after arriving to Tennessee to help search?
Yes.
And when and for what purposes were you deputized?
For purposes of getting more access, for purposes of liability.
None of this is adding up. I haven't heard anything. Hey, Emeralds, guys. I haven't heard anything about her for a minute. I didn't even know she was still doing panels until today. And I don't know. The things she's saying just, I don't. Yeah, and she came into a live that wasn't anything about her or this topic. Why? And then stays up there for hours saying all this stuff. I don't know.
Going into random people's properties, they respond better to you searching their property. If you say, hey, I am deputized with this organization, I have paperwork. I mean, most people, when I show them, I carry my cards with me for my certs. Most people were cool with that. But in the event, and I was a little upset that some places I wanted to search, that were like either businesses or something were taking so long to get back to me. And I understand I'm a random person from Pennsylvania. Like, who the fuck am I? So I thought maybe if I went through an agency to prove that I was vetted and everything, it'd be different. So I was really just trying to go about things a more professional way. Because again, and I've said this openly, when I first came in, I was biased. I came into this as oh my God, like my heart thing. But then after getting advice from higher, they said, do this the right way, go through law enforcement, you know what you're doing, but stop thinking with your heart. It's going to get you in trouble.
Why would you have come in?
Wait. On what date were you deputized? What date?
I can pull up the date for you. Give me a second.
I can tell y'all. It was June 17th, 2024.
What?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, email truth, my confidentiality agreement that I signed.
June 17th.
That's what the date on this document that I have in front of me has. I'm not saying that that's what it is, guys. I'm just reading the document.
So why is she sending everybody all these documents and stuff? Hey, Patricia. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button if you haven't. If you're not subbed up, sub up. I am 4 away from 2,500. Finally, 4 away. I'm going to throw a couple in for good measures because you know how some people can sub up and then unsub. But anyway. But thank y'all. I don't.
I have in front of me.
I don't understand why she's sending all these documents around. Why you shouldn't be? Why would you show? Yeah, why did she sign a confidentiality agreement? And why is she showing it to people?
Long ago. Can I just ask a real quick question? How does a dog? You said you don't have that shoe with you, so how does a dog? It only has to sniff it once and then it remembers the scent forever. No. I always assumed that you guys had to sniff it like every time they went to search or something.
I mean, I can't take it home with me because I don't take it home with me. Anytime I use something, I turn it back in. I do that back, and home too. Whenever I'm helping with something, I turn it back into where it's like signing out sensitive items. You turn it back in, you don't keep it.
I have a question. How long did
you search? You have to go back and get the item. I'm sorry, just
yes.
How long did it take you to get deputized, Julia?
It took about, I would say, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, just because I had to do a federal background check and I had to take a post test. So,
because you hit me up when Seth came on the panel on May 10th.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that you were working with the U.S. Marshals on getting federally deputized.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I told them initially I was working with them. I said somebody else reached out to Sumner County, and we went through that route.
How can I got questions? Okay, wait a minute. How can she do all this, have all this time, go and be deputized, and do all this when she's in the military? Oh, Josh, you're sweet. How? Because my brother was military police for 23 plus years. No, he wasn't working outside like that. I mean, I don't know. And he was regular Army. So I don't know.
But I said, just as preparation, I might be seeking your services for this because if they take too long, this is time sensitive. So.
Who paid your bond, please?
Who paid my what?
Who paid your bond to be deputized, please?
I pay for myself with everything. I'm an officer. I mean, I don't pay for, no one pays for me. And also, again, I literally have all my certs. I have my crossover schooling and everything. So.
Did you have a bond to get deputized?
I just had to pay the fee for the post test. I don't know what we're talking about the bond. I'm confused. I'm really confused.
Are you under an NDA?
Yep. I gave it as of June. I can't talk about anything after June 17th. I sent it the truth. I signed the confidentiality
Do you mind if I read this, or am I allowed to read this?
I mean,
I won't say the agency. I won't say the agency.
Hey, Tina.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell me no. I have no
Yeah,
problem with it.
T-Rep thinks, oh, his post is like a book, but I should read it to you guys. He denies everything. Everything. Blames everything on Smoke and Athena. Denies it all.
Read it.
It says.
Well, if it's real, why do you mind?
Well, it's because it's a confidentiality agreement that.
I mean, I'm not talking about anything after the date, so that's fine.
Right.
I don't care.
So it says, as a voluntary searcher from the state of Pennsylvania, serving as a canine handler, I understand that I may learn of or have access information, verbal, written, or electronic, which is personal, safety sensitive, and otherwise confidential in nature. I agree to maintain the confidentiality of such information and will not divulge it to anyone for any purpose without the express consent or direction of my supervisor or other blank personnel. I further understand and agree that I am prohibited from using any of this information for my personal use or benefit or for any other non-police services.
She never signed it? It was never signed, Lisa? Yeah, very odd. I thought so from the beginning. I just didn't have, things just didn't vibe with me with her. Things just didn't add up for me.
Businesses or business-related purposes or for my own personal financial gain. I understand and agree that my failure to comply with the confidential...
I've said it before in previous lives. I just never got that. I just never bought the whole Joel story.
Requirements set forth in this confidentiality agreement is grounds for disciplinary action by both the Blake Agency and the United States Army and my certifying organizations for the canine officers.
The United States Army is not going to have you sign an NDA for them. This doesn't make any sense. The United States Army would not allow her to be part of this.
Into the search or the volunteer search efforts. Canine Gator, Canine Aura, Canine Marley.
Unless she didn't tell them.
Additionally, the state of Tennessee may seek other criminal or civil sanctions or damages as may be allowed by law. I have read and understand this agreement and agree to comply with it in every aspect. Date this 17th day of June 2024.
Right, but that's just to voluntarily go search that day. And to when she's searching for, doing the searches for Sebastian. That's not for her. No.
Yeah.
Read the first sentence of that again.
No problem.
Please.
It says, as a volunteer searcher from the state of Pennsylvania, serving as a canine handler, I understand that I may learn of or have access to confidential, verbal, written, or electronic, which is personal, safety sensitive.
Yeah.
But that ain't even
as a volunteer searcher.
Because I'm not getting paid. That's why I said that.
Right. So as a volunteer searcher.
I thought wait a minute.
You're going in as a volunteer. So
okay.
They're saying as a volunteer.
If you would have been deputized, I think that would have been in that form. And I just, I'm not buying none of that. This just doesn't smell right.
I thought the whole thing was supposed to be for Tennessee anyway. Why is it saying?
Yeah, do what Betty does, the DNA. She doesn't do an NDA. She does a DNA.
I'm from Pennsylvania. It's just detailing
But
the
you're not
state. I'm
searching in
from.
Pennsylvania.
Right.
We're searching in Tennessee.
So what it says is, as a volunteer searcher from the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Hey, I just
Yeah,
have
that's what-
one quick question, if I can. Aren't you an MP, Julia?
Yes.
So wouldn't that clue you into the fact that this is creating a huge conflict of interest? That's my only question.
Hey, Naomi.
Huge.
I do realize it now. Again, I admit that I was wrong. I'm just.
No, it's not about. I've heard you admit a lot of things over a vast time period. My dad was an MP, and growing up with him, it's very clear that this would have been a conflict of interest from the beginning if you're an MP. That's all I got to say. Thank you, Queen.
So,
no problem.
A volunteer, so not deputized.
No, yeah,
not
it's a volunteer.
made to be a part of law enforcement. I mean,
No, it means volunteer. Like, I'm not being paid for this. I'm volunteering my services. I'm not getting paid to search. That's what that means.
Yeah, anybody that volunteers would have to sign that. If I volunteered, I'd have to sign that.
Yes. I didn't have to sign that.
Well, I signed this as like.
You went on a search with Seth, though. Seth did his own searches. You know what I'm saying? Law enforcement did theirs, and Seth did his.
Yeah.
I did this because it was like a guarantee. I was letting them know this is a guarantee that like I'm coming here for the sole purpose of being volunteer. I'm not taking money from anybody. My purpose here is to search. Not paid, completely volunteer. That's the whole reason why that document is stated as it is. I don't know how else to better explain it.
So it takes 1 to 2 weeks to be deputized, and you got that done by June 17th. So that means that maybe if it takes 1 to 2 weeks, probably by the 1st of June, you started the process. But weren't you searching, helping Seth's team prior to all of that?
I was never searching with Seth. I was searching on my own the entire time. If Seth gave me an idea for a location, I accepted it, but I don't know if it's answering. I'm not getting paid on YouTube. I'm not monetized. I just don't. I guess I'm trying to understand what you're asking. Voices.
Are you
I'm not
going to
trying to be rude.
We'll time you out.
That was just
Come
a point
on
of
now.
clarification. I was just surmising, making sure that I was staying on the same page, not letting my mind, that I was staying focused and not going off on a side tangent.
Is your
Hold on.
and I don't know if you've addressed this or not.
Hold on, Truth. Can you hold?
Yeah,
Truth.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say this right here, right now. I can see the back chat, and I see Julie, you're emailing Truth, Truth is emailing you. He's saying I emailed you back. You're emailing him back. Bitch, send the fucking PDF.
There's really
Send
no
the
fucking
motherfucking
reason
PDF.
for you. If you can email Truth back and forth like this and say no, yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it for real. Because
Okay,
you're fucking with my life.
And I mean, Truth, you've been up here with us the whole time, so.
I'm over it, bitch.
Oh yeah,
Send
I'm
shit
here.
or shut the fuck up for real. Send it or shut up. Put up or shut up.
I will. I just.
Oh, wow, Josh, you got some damage,
I
huh?
don't need no picture and no PDF. You can attach a photo to email.
Okay, they're just arguing about her. I think there was some more. I don't know. We might get back into this tomorrow. I've been on here long enough.
You ain't fucking brand new here.
Yeah.
To it, because who's Teri Lynn to be afraid of? Like, I don't understand. Something more to it because of Teri Lynn. Have together, but
yeah.
I'm just Queen. I have a question. I know she's busy getting this PDF together, but
yeah.
I'm just wondering why she's so leery, like scared of Teri Lynn.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, like there seems
That's
to
real
be
fucking sus.
something more to it because who's Teri Lynn to be afraid of? Like, I don't understand.
Earlier, she indicated that there might be.
Y'all better open your eyes. Y'all better open your eyes. I'm telling y'all.
Queen was talking about the T-Rev situation and what's going on there. They were talking about all this stuff, and she came in and went up and started all this. This had nothing to do with what the live was about. Yeah, total distraction.
Open your eyes. She's scared of Teri Lynn. That's somebody she's working with. In the story.
She said that she was afraid of being
blackmailed. That's right.
Well, you know, you can't get blackmailed if you ain't got shit to be held over your head.
If you ain't done no dirt, ain't nobody do nothing to you. And by the way, I'm just gonna say
That's what I'm saying. If there's anything she needs to get out, just get it out. You know what I mean?
She was saying she was afraid of being blackmailed. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for coming in.
Just saying, get it done over with so she can't hold it over your head anymore.
We're right at the line. Just step over it.
Well,
That's what made me ask the question if she was brought in here to plant evidence. That's why I was wondering that because of the whole blackmailing thing.
My break is over, so I'm going to hop down. Jules,
All right,
I will thank you for your service, but I will also say your behavior is some of the most dishonorable I have seen from active duty military in a long damn time. Love y'all. See you later.
I agree.
So what about those Red Sox?
Well, they're not doing as good as those, Yankees are.
No, Clue, I'm honestly concerned about this evidence thing because Terry's been out there finding shit. And Seth's group has found like glasses by the Bauer Sox house. I don't like any of this.
Yeah,
let me ask this. Can I ask a question? Do you think, Jules, that any of the evidence that has been found thus far by other people other than law enforcement, that any of it could have been planted and not actual, in your opinion?
Hold on, I'm typing the Clue right now. Can I answer that in a second?
Yeah,
sure.
So did you get my first email by chance?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to send you a few more things if that's okay.
Yeah, let's focus. Let's let her focus on sending.
Well, she's just sending stuff all over the place.
And I'll just keep conversation with us. Let her focus on that. Let her not get distracted.
Same games, different players.
Go down
Yep.
now, because I'm about to put this bitch in jail.
But anyhow,
I have another question too. Was
hey,
about the Cajun Navy. Like she confirmed that they brought her in. I'm just curious how and like why she didn't pull out when they did.
I didn't physically get down until after Mother's Day, Jay. So it was just like before that, I didn't physically have eyes on anything. It was a lot of just back and forth communication. So I really just, and I'm still doing AGR work. Like I still during the day. I mean, we're on a 4-day Donza right now, despite
they were there for like a day, Julia. Like, did they tell you like, oh, hey, you might not want to waste your time? Like,
no, they were going. The one guy I initially talked to, Todd, he was all about talking in the beginning, but when they pulled out, I asked him, and he told me, "Well, most of us pulled out, but some of us are still down here searching." So I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, but I didn't see any threats physically online. I thought maybe people were taking something they were saying as a threat, even though it wasn't really meant to be a threat. I didn't know. I can't. It's hard to read things online for what they are. And then I said,
you didn't ask them when you talked to them.
I asked Todd, and then they made that one Facebook post about the threats, but like I didn't. I mean, yeah, he posted about it, but I didn't see anything in regards to like physical. I didn't see anything. They said they're being threatened, but again, how can I tell the difference between someone taking something as a threat and something actually?
Well, I thought you were talking to him. Did you ask them?
I did, and he said that it was people following them in cars and along those lines, but nothing like as far as violence goes. Someone told me they were chased off a private property, but again, why are you walking on a private property with a group of people without asking for permission first? To me, that's not really a threat. That's somebody protecting the property. And following in cars, like I don't know. How can you prove someone's actually tailing you unless you like have like?
Betty, we saw the proof that Betty was.
Hey, Debbie.
Bullhorn Betty was following, someone. Just saying. There's video of that.
I mean, not to be rude or anything, but your chat's saying let her focus. I get it, but like she's been emailing the whole time. I don't understand.
Clue got the PDF. She's already emailed it.
Well, I'm sending her some more stuff too. I still have some more stuff I want to add to that if she's okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's fine, but also, I mean, there's a lot of questions coming through right now.
Yeah, I want to do this just because I just want to do this real quick because I told her I would, and then I want her to.
Yeah, for sure.
So I apologize for not looking. I want to get this to her because she's right. I owe this to her. So.
It's a very interesting way to spend a Friday afternoon, Pete.
Thank you for being here.
Clue, is there an easier way to talk to you aside from the back chat and from the emails? Because there's something I kind of want to send to you, but I want to make sure like it's. I'll just do the email. Just kidding. I'm just sending you the email. Sorry.
Girl, send everything to my email. Okay. I'm just saying, y'all trying to implicate me, then bring it. Send it on, all of it. Cause yeah, okay.
What I don't understand is what is all this BS going on with this damn case? I don't understand it. How is this supposed to help find Sebastian?
What we got to keep in mind is,
unless somebody's nefarious,
why all this BS is coming from one party in this case. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of this.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're side-eyeing him, because this is bullshit.
What are y'all talking about? Y'all are crazy. You know Chris Proudfoot set all this up and put all these actors in here. He's
like this is the weirdest. Like this is so weird. That all this stuff is happening from one side. Everyone was like mad at Chris and Katie, but it's like Seth is behind all this shit. Like what the fuck, bro?
And he's still smelling like a damn rose. Nobody's saying anything against him.
I don't think he smells like a rose.
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying that nobody is saying anything against him. But there's all this nefarious stuff going on his side of the thing, and whether it is just a bunch of bullshit or he actually does have something to do with this, why is everybody protecting him and going after Katie and Chris? I don't understand this at all.
I just know if like 1/4 of this shit was done by Chris and Katie, the whole internet would blow up. There'd be 55 lives lined up. Every single one of you motherfuckers, every single one of those motherfuckers would have like 5 lives a day. But but look who he's associated with. He's associated with Tony Mathis, BHB, T-Rev. Who else? A lady that can't be around kids for 10 years because she almost shot someone through a wall. Interesting. Teri Lynn. Tony. I mean, this is the crew you want to deal with. Fantastic.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so ridiculous why people
I like Cheesy Weezy. She's cool.
Are not side-eyeing him, and they're on his side. I just don't understand it. And here, Chris and Katie, all they're doing is being silent, and everybody's going after them. I don't understand it.
And this guy is talking more about Chris and Katie than his own son. Every time he goes up, I hate those Chris and Katie. I hate them so much. It's like, bro.
That would only happen if your son wasn't really missing, though, right?
I don't know about that, but I'm just saying, it's weird, man. I've never seen a missing person case where the parent talks more about the other parents, how much they hate them and their past marriage than their own kid.
Bro, we're not even. They're not even using real lawyers.
Slim Jim said if you already emailed TBI if it's already together for
anything, you should already have the report pressed forward.
Yep, just forward it. Sleuths investigates.
I need you to call me, and then he finally answered me. And then we went on TikTok and called me Seth's girl. It made me really fucking uncomfortable. And that was when I really was just like, I don't like it. And then we went on, he didn't answer me. Tony before when. And to answer those someone's question, no, I don't talk to Tony. I talked to Tony before when Steph came on board. I kept texting him. He didn't answer me. So I went on Facebook and said, Tony, I need you to call me. And then he finally answered me. And then we went on TikTok and called me Seth's girl. It made me really fucking uncomfortable. And that was when I really was just like, I don't like this. So that's the last time I talked to Tony. And that was Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
That was the last time I talked to Tony, yeah.
Interesting.
And he actually asked me to step out while I was in the middle of talking to dinner with my mom. And I said to him, I'm out to dinner. He's like, you need to step away and call me. Which is kind of rude, but that's what he did because he had to do live.
So you went to Sears school then?
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with. That's nothing to do with being interviewed or talked to on here. That's literally if you're held as a POW. And no, I did not bring Tony in.
You always talk in circles. I'm just asking because you use a lot of words, but you never say shit. You know that, right? You beat around the bush so much, there isn't a fucking leaf left on it.
Yeah, it got brutal.
I do agree. You do run circles. I mean, you do talk in circles.
I mean, she does, but it got brutal with her up there. I mean, when she first came out, voices let off on her, and then, but they got brutal at times, and she stayed up there. I don't get it, but I don't know this lady. There's just
I emailed you back, Julia. I need one more piece of information in regards to what you sent.
Okay, I can get that to you. Maybe the best way to do that is pull it up my MacBook with the text and then pull up the address book so that way it's connected person too.
Yep.
Okay, I can do that for you.
Which we all think she's lying, but going back to, I give her credit for still being up here. I mean, if she was lying.
I left when voices lost it. You did. Yeah, I was in and out, so I missed a lot of it. What?
Wouldn't she be gone by now? I think.
No,
I
I've
don't
had
think
people
so.
sit up here for 7 hours and lie straight to my phone. Different than you did a week ago. Slower, less sure, less clear, less confident. What's up? Shit, you sound way different from when you came on this panel till now.
I mean, I even said in my live the other day, I've been sick. I mean, I've been sick.
Right, but you came in going 155 miles a minute, and now you're like barely talking.
Time just because it makes
you
it. What was that?
Did you just take it or something? Did you take it when you came in here?
I took it like probably right before I came on to talk to you, just because I wanted to be clear-headed and not squirreling over absolutely everything. Because I originally came on here to talk about the T-Rev stuff with the Danilo thing. That's why I first came on here.
Right.
So
yeah, because I mean, this stuff with Clue keeping it real, you could have
the civilian side really before. I thought if I just went to TV, aware on my own life, thought that this would have been like she would have had this by now, but I was wrong. So obviously, and I feel horrible about that. And especially with her, I didn't know she was like doxxed. I didn't watch that stream, and when I heard that, I even came on this panel like saying like I think it's fucked up that somebody called her.
But yeah,
you're gonna make mistakes. Everybody's
somebody
gonna make
called
mistakes.
her.
This is a pretty big one though. This is a pretty fucking big one. But I mean, you know, I do got to give you credit for being up here because a lot of people would have ran. I mean, fuck, you got Teri Lynn who won't even click the fucking link. So you know what I'm saying? There's people who are scared to death, like T-Rev. He won't click the fucking link either. Scared to death.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
you know, you fucked up and you're still sitting up here. You know what I'm saying? I got to give you
yeah,
credit.
and I'm not going to take any apologies back like somebody else did in a freaking post. I will never do that. I'm not going to take an apology back. I'm not going to do that. I'm not about that. So,
taking an apology back.
So then you would be, so you would be able to meet up with Clue then and put this to rest.
I mean, I never said I wouldn't. I just, like I said, whatever.
Well, I just think it would be a very smart thing to do. Like, I think it would be a very respectful and honorable thing to do. And you can imagine.
All right, guys. Well, I've been on here a long time. What we can do is, I just wanted to show you where she said about, you know, the blackmail and or she felt she could be blackmailed and that she felt that someone could possibly want to plant evidence allegedly at close or at the Proudfoots. I don't know the proof she's sending everybody. I don't know. If she's under a confidentiality agreement, I definitely not cut out for YouTube. Yeah. But I'm gonna dig around and I'm gonna get Teri Lynn's response, and we'll go over that tomorrow morning. It'll probably be before lunchtime, and I'll go ahead and get the timestamps for the other two little things I'm going to show you in here. But the whole live stream's up at Queens. She's passing information around, and I don't know. I don't know. There's just something not sitting right with me with all this. And I do think, I mean, why did she come in and go up on panel when they weren't even discussing her or anything to do with her? Just makes you think. Just makes you think. Oh, you're welcome, sunshine. Thank you for being here. I don't know. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about this so far. We'll do part 2 of this tomorrow. We'll go over some more of it, and we'll go over Teri Lynn's response. But Betty took a lot longer than I thought. I should have known better. It is very confusing. She does talk in circles, and she is very confusing. I'm going to go back and re-listen to it, start to end, because she's just really confusing. And I want to get a couple timestamps. But it's like she's saying no one's planted evidence that she's aware of. But she said she thought somebody could. But then she said she had screenshots to prove that things like that were mentioned, and about possibly Clue's house or the Proudfoots house being, you know, where the evidence would be. But yet she's waited forever to give it to Clue. I don't know. Hey, break time. You think it's deeper than just Joel's? Yeah. Hey, Carl. Yeah, it's another thing. The whole military thing don't add up. Does she actually admit to digging for folks today? I'm hearing that happen, but I haven't watched all this stuff. I'm going to have to go back over it. Because there was so much said, and I had to check it out. because yeah, it's all crazy, and I think she confused people more than anything. But Teri Lynn was all pissed off because apparently she's under the impression, and that's another clip I want to look for. So the timestamp, so I can get it and show you tomorrow. Teri Lynn's under the impression she was saying Terry would do that, but I have to go back and re-listen to that to see if specific names were said, because I thought she said she just seen stuff. That's what it's so confusing. She said that, and she thought she was going to be set up with that planted evidence, that they were going to use her as the one to find it, and she thought she could be blackmailed. Blackmailed for what? If you were doing your job and searching with your dogs, and your dogs came upon something that you say was planted on purpose for you to come up with, how would they blackmail you with it if you didn't have nothing to do with it? It's just really, it's a lot. I like your name, Skank Ass Tanya. I really like that. Travel gets shut down. She will not use YouTube to... Yeah, and then her being deputized and signing these non-disclosures or confidentiality agreements, whatever you choose to call them. And then she's showing everybody, emailing everybody this agreement she signed. I don't know. Hey, Ange. Yeah, it was a long stream. That's why I'm going to get the timestamps and we'll finish it up tomorrow. And I'll get Teri Lynn's too. It'll probably be in the morning before noon. Either that or I'll clean. I got so much cleaning to do this weekend. And I want to have time to take the kids out somewhere. I don't know. It's going to be a long weekend. I don't know. There's some weird shit going on, that's for sure. There's no way she don't confuse herself. Tia went off big time. I don't blame her when it comes to flaky dog handler. Tia was telling Justice for All that Katie said she put Sebastian to bed at midnight, and Justin was questioning her on it because most have never heard that. Oh my God. These idiots. I mean, they're actually fighting with each other because they're all telling so many lies about and twisting things up. They can't keep up with what they're saying. So they're actually starting to go with each other. It's crazy. And they don't seem to see that who was instrumental in causing all of this and keeping all this going. I don't know. But I'm going to get off here and go spend some time with my hubby. He got home from work. He had a long night. I feel bad. He was so short-handed. But, yeah, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the cash apps and all the memberships. I greatly appreciate it. God, I really do appreciate it. It really does help me with the channel. And just, period. Yeah, exactly, Mystery. She got a family member. She got a dad in her corner. She's totally going, she's totally up. That's it. She's spun out of control. Oh, thank you. But thank you, guys. Hey, Bear Can. I will see you on these YouTube streets tomorrow for sure. Night all.